The king in the north! The king in the north!
Yo, what it do? What it do? Like, share, subscribe. Now let's just get into it. Now, we all know what today is. Today is the call-in show. This is not my show. I mean, it is, but this is the subscribers, the fans. This is y'all show today. So, y'all come up here, say what you want. If you have anything to say, this whether you Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State, whoever you are, this is your chance to come up and talk about what you want to talk about, whatever that may be. It might be some bull, and we still gonna have to hear it. it might be some bull you talking about, and we still gonna have to listen to it. So, ain't no beating around the bush. Hold on. Turn my light up. Turn that light up a little bit. But yeah, so we're gonna get. Hold on, brother. I'm gonna put the link in there. Let me get my intro. Okay, let me get my intro off now. Let me get my intro off of there. Hold on. I'm gonna put it in there. I'm gonna put the link in there, man. But yeah, so this is y'all show. I don't know. Steven say he might not show up today, so I don't know. I told Steven he a fan favorite. He the fan favorite. I told him he the fan favorite. He say he taking the day off. He say he gonna watch, but he ain't getting into it with these Buckeyes. He ain't doing it today. So it is what it is. Let's see what we got saying in here till we get some people in here. Bert say he ready to see Garrison at the spring game. That's a fact. What up, Marmar? Somebody gonna say something dumb. He gonna come up. He can't take it. Johnny, you better get him. You better get him, Johnny. Let's see. Yo, what up, Blue Wolverine? Yep, the link is in the chat. I haven't seen what exactly is going on with the Kieran Lacy. Was he driving the car or did he get hit? I've been seeing it on my timeline, but I haven't exactly dived into what was going on. I don't know what happened. I just know he passed, I think. This mic is getting on my nerves right here. Let's see. Link is in the chat. Hey, somebody want to come up here? It's on y'all. Man. He was driving and was supposedly doing court tomorrow. Oh, okay. But yeah, I've been seeing what's been going on besides that. Oh, there you go, Garrison. His warrant came out at 2 a.m. Oh, okay. My understanding, he was driving a car that caused a death and left the scene and was charged. Oh, okay. But I thought he died. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this. How annoying will it be to have to wait the whole week before we can actually see the spring game on TV? That would be annoying if I wasn't going this year. Best believe it would be annoying. But since I'm going, I won't be annoyed. And we're gonna be on here talking about it, but y'all, I mean, you won't be able to see it, but I'm gonna paint a picture for you. I'm gonna paint the picture of what exactly happened, so you can imagine how Bryce Underwood looked. You can imagine how his throws were looking, and imagine how Jordan Marshall was running it. I'm gonna paint a picture for you. It's gonna feel like you was there. It's gonna feel like you was there. I'm gonna take you there. Don't worry. Oh, could have been suicide. I'm gonna bring you up in a second. Tim. What up, Garrison? TG. Is that girl? Is that girl? Is that the girl on the Buckeye Boys channel? I can't listen to her because every time she talks about Michigan, she's talking reckless. She on deck. She on deck. Best believe she's on deck.
She ain't that bad.
She bad. What up, Tim?
What up?
What's going on? What you got?
Oh, no, nothing. I might be at the game.
Are you gonna be at the game?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We'll, the whole team gonna be there.
I'm hearing that Bryce, he might be wearing he might be on the maid.
Oh, for real? I haven't heard about how the teams have been picked yet. They do a little kind of pick 'em.
Yeah, but I do know that Jaden Davis that he was on the blue team last year.
Okay. Yeah, it's always interesting to see because Michigan does it different than most teams with the draft, where they're drafting each.
Yeah, but they
It's not.
do it the NFL way though.
You said
Well,
what?
they do it the way that the blue team, they have their own offense and defense, but then the maize team, they have another offense and defense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an actual kind of draft. It's not first team defense. The whole team is mix and matched.
Yeah, other teams they need to do that too, but
Got you. Let me bring up JG King.
Going on, Johnny?
What up? What you got?
I got a couple things for you, actually. First, I want to, with the Kieran Lacy thing, they were saying that he passed away. And so I want to say rest in peace to him if that is true.
Yes, sir.
You know. Uh, so I guess I want to address the elephant in the room. Better yet, the draft in the car, probably. So, last night, because Garrison took all the honey packs, I decided to take the wife and the kids out for dinner, right? And so we ride, and then you popped up and you said a little comment about Yo Gotti being better than Dolph.
Facts.
Soon as you said that, my wife looked at me. She was like, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I'm like, what's the deal? She was like, your boy flied you. I said, oh, he probably said it by mistake. I was like, he probably said it by mistake. You know what I mean? He be up there a few times out the week. She was like, oh, okay, well, facts. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. She was like, but, you're going to have to give him the rundown. I was like, I ain't got to give him a rundown. The music's out there. I ain't got to give him no rundown. You know what I'm saying? Then she was like, well, I don't know if I'm rocking with your boy.
Better rapper than no Gotti.
Hey, to me, it's not even close. You know what I'm saying? Dolph take off on him. You know what I'm saying?
Are you kidding me?
Yes, Dolph takes off on him. He got classic albums. I say albums, not just songs, albums.
I will put CM7 up against anything Dolph got.
Man, whatever.
Facts. I will put
that ain't facts.
Up against anything Dolph got.
Rich Crack Baby will wipe that.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it, bro. Because
yeah, you gonna have to get back in the catalog, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Dolph Gotti is a better rapper than me. But that's my opinion.
When the last time you listened to Dolph? Like really listen to him.
He's not. I don't care for Dolph that much.
I'm just saying,
I feel the same way about your guy.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. When I moved to Memphis, wasn't no Dolph. When I moved to Memphis, Gotti was on top. I'm gonna sell my Can't Trust No, all Life, the Life album. Dolph, by the time Dolph came out, I was already knee deep in being a Gotti fan, and Gotti was still putting out bars. So by that time, it was like Dolph, he couldn't rap better to me. So that's where it comes from.
Yeah, you never really gave him your ear. I'm trying to tell you that boy went hard.
I did a little bit, but Gotti was just better to me.
You chose a side. I can respect it. You chose a side. just like with Jeezy and Gucci. I mean, people chose a side. It is what it is. But
see, I was a Gucci guy, but I rock with Jeezy. But I was more Gucci. I felt Gucci.
Hey, Jeezy, his opening album, him and DMX, man, they first album was probably the coldest in history.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about that yesterday.
Now I got an interesting tidbit. I was thinking about this last night when you was up there talking about the receivers. I heard Donovan McCulley. They interviewed him. He was like that he couldn't enroll in Michigan until he graduated. So that's why he wasn't here the 24 season or whatever. And so it got me to thinking because there's a narrative out there about him. Now, I'm not sure if you heard it or not, but anytime Indiana was playing on national TV, they would say something about him and how he wasn't good enough, that the head coach had his wide receiver that he liked better. And I'm just wondering if that's not necessarily the case. If it was a case of, hey, you gonna transfer, you can go to school, but you can't play on the team type deal. And he might have been working in the lab this whole time, showed up at Michigan and is a monster.
Mm-hmm. I saw a picture of him. I was like, who is that? Where he caught a deep pass. I'm like, bro, who is that? I had to figure out who it was because he looked like Nico or somebody like that.
Yeah, he looked a little different, even from his old film at Indiana. He looks a little different right now, man.
Like
I'm excited to see him at the spring game. Actually, him, I want to see Browder. I want to see Andrew Marks because we ain't heard too much about him. I'm gonna keep my eye out on him, see how he doing. Maniac.
Yo,
My
what's
boy
going on,
Juan
gentlemen?
Stockton.
What up?
Are
What
we?
up?
What up?
Yeah. What we talking about?
The receivers, McCulley.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we gonna need him to cook, man. We need, that was probably the besides quarterback, our weakest position last year on the offense, man. And not to say that them guys didn't have talent, right? We just didn't really have competent quarterbacks to get them the ball. But I think we spoke about this many times, Johnny, that you also that falls on the OC, right? Because you know what you have. So you need to adapt to what you have. All right, look, I can't use this part of the playbook. We gotta have to dumb it down a little bit. Let's throw more screen passes to the receivers, tunnel screens, little 3-and-outs. Let them, move. Samaj Morgan, people could say what they want about him. You
What's up,
get him in
Mama?
space, that little dude is shifty, bro. He like trying to catch a little mouse in a big room, It ain't gonna be easy. So you gotta understand that you gotta put your playmakers in the best position to succeed. And that was the biggest problem that Campbell did. Yes, I mean last season as the offensive coordinator. Hence why he's not employed by Michigan anymore. Because yes, we were bad, but I think we could have been slightly better if he was able to adjust a little bit. So that's going to be interesting. But I think now we got some dogs. They talented, but it's about proving it now, right? We got to prove it. Yeah, you can have it, but you got to prove it on the field, man. So I'm excited to see next Saturday, how them receivers do their thing, man. And now we got a quarterbacks could throw it downfield. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
It's gonna be interesting to see if the game plan. I don't want to see too much, but I need to see something
You
in the
got two
spring game
quarterbacks.
that.
That boy Davis looking nice.
Yeah, but I don't want to see the coordinator trying to protect them. I want to see him sling it a little. You ain't got to show
Yeah,
too
that's
much.
what I
It's just
just
a spring
said.
game, but don't be protecting them with the play call.
Yeah, and that's a good point because I was asking myself this, right? How much of the playbook Chip Lindsey will show on Saturday, right? That's also going to
Hey,
be a big thing. And you're right, though. I would love to see, and even if he throws 1/4 of that playbook, at least do us a favor and show us that you could throw that pill down the field, man. And good throws, and we just want to see an efficient passing game because if Michigan is going to get to the playoffs and Michigan is going to beat Ohio State for the 5th year in a row, we're going to have this year, we're going to need a passing game. I don't think we're just going to get off with a running game. We could beat a lot of teams on our schedule just pounding them out. But if we're going to get to the playoffs, we got to stretch the field and keep the defense honest. And if we could do that, man, then there's no doubt in my mind that Michigan will make the playoffs, man. And of course, injuries. Injuries play a big part in football as well, right? And that's why having depth at every position is big. But we'll see. Yeah, we're going to the playoffs day one. Stop playing with my team. Well, we'll see, man. I hope. I think based on the schedule, Michigan shouldn't have a problem making the playoffs, but it's football, man. You don't win games on paper. You win them on the field, right? They said Ohio State was going to smoke our boots last year. On paper, if it was on paper, we lose that game. But, games are won on the field. So Michigan is going to have to prove it week in and week out. And I think we'll be good, man, because that defense, I think that defense is going to be beast.
Yeah.
yeah, that defense gonna be real nice.
And the defense, they need to shut down their opponent passing game early, force them to run the ball, so that way, so that way, so that way, the quarterbacks can make mistakes, and
Facts.
and then start turning some easy pass plays to couple touchdowns by the defense.
Facts.
Yeah, that
But
Oklahoma
now,
game gonna tell us a lot.
Yeah, you right about that. Now,
Yeah, and I mentioned that many times that that's going to give us a good taste of what Michigan is on both sides of the ball. But the good thing is this: two things. One, it's early. It's early in the season, right? And if Michigan even loses that game, it's not a conference game, so it won't really affect them based on conference play. The only thing is that will be a loss, and in this day and age, two losses are pretty much get you in the Big Ten. Two losses should get you into the playoffs, moving forward. But I hope that we go up in Norman and win. A lot of Michigan fans just think that's going to be an easy win, bro. I don't see it easy. Like, what makes it easy? You're going to have a first-year quarterback, whether it's Bryce or Jaden. We know it's going to be Bryce. To go into a hostile environment, like, that's not easy. Oklahoma's a blue blood. Like, that's not an easy place to win. And fellow Michigan fans, we got to realize that, like, you can't just be like, oh, we're going to beat everybody and blow them out. Like, that's not being realistic. Now, Michigan can win the game. I'm not saying we can't, but just saying we're going to go in there and just give Oklahoma work. I don't right now. I don't say it's a slam dunk. I mean, it can happen. But just to say that's a slam dunk win for Michigan, I think that's a stretch.
right,
Yeah, I agree with you. I think
right
Michigan
now
gonna
they
come
having
out that game with a lot of fire though,
some wide
because
receiver injury
they
problems.
have confidence this year that they didn't have last year when they went up against Texas. I think that offense being confidence like that, they're gonna go out there ready to prove something. And that's gonna be that's gonna be a good game, man. That quarterback Oklahoma got ain't no joke. I
facts.
want to see how they defend him.
Yeah. And in that Michigan Oklahoma game is going to be a fist fight. In school or on the block, you had them two dudes that were real good in fighting. And you be like, ooh, I would like to see if they got into a fight, how that'd be. And that's Michigan and Oklahoma is going to be a fist fight. I think it's going to be a low scoring game, 21-17, 17-14 kind of game. It's going to be the winner of that game is going to earn it. They're going to earn that win, bro. And, Michigan, the good thing is, though, defensively, I think that can help the offense early, right? Even if the offense is struggling in that game early on, I think the defense is going to hold us down, man, because I think the defense from week one should just come out firing on all cylinders, especially with Wink on his second year as the DC, man. And we still got a lot of players that are coming back from that defense last year. And the difference is that Michigan, they got aggressive defensive players, man, playmakers, and that's what we need. So, again, man, week 2 is going to tell us a lot, man. It's going to tell us a lot about this team. And I will also say that even if we lose that game, that Michigan fans, bro, don't turn on Bryce, don't turn on your team, because I hate when them fickle fans come out. Oh, did we pay too much for him? Bro, don't worry about it. He's still learning. Yes, he's a generational talent, but you got to understand that it takes a little bit time to pick things up, man. He's playing against grown men now. He's not playing against 16-year-old kids. He's playing against 22-year-old, 270 pounds, running 4.7s, coming at you full speed, crowd, 90,000 yelling. Yo, it's a different animal. So it's going to be interesting.
I'll be
Yeah,
happy if he give us Nico numbers for real. 19-5. Hey, way better than what we had last year.
Yeah, listen, facts. I agree. Mama, what up?
What up, though?
What's going on?
Hey, listen. I get what you saying. That certain Michigan fans think we gonna go and run that game in Oklahoma. And I got some news for you. I am one of them fans that believe that.
Let me ask you, Mama, why you just so confident that Michigan is going to go into Norman and guarantee get that win?
because he in a better place and better coaching now this year than it was last year. And then I watch like I rewatch games and stuff. And I was rewatching the bowl game. And for us to go into, Florida, I know it was a neutral site game. And I know it was a neutral site game, but listen, that defensive line without any 26 players were getting to that quarterback, sacked him 4 times. And then you add Payne and Williams, Trey Williams and Payne to that, and then they say they excelling. And then you got Inoua and Etta stepping up, and then you got Nichols and them stepping up. I just think that we'll be able to overwhelm Oklahoma with our depth and our with our defense. That's why I think. And then I just talked to somebody up in Michigan last night, and they told me that our offense is the offense up there in that practice is looking something crazy. So I just think I just believe that we can go into Oklahoma because of Sharon Moore homecoming. That's where it started for him. The motivation he's gonna give the players and how they feed off of him now, and you can see that in the last 3 games. And I just think he understands it a little more, and then he don't have to be all hands on this time. He can just make the game plan, and I think the game plan is just control clock, run the ball down the throat. We got a couple. We got 2 running backs that are be excellent. The receiving core, if you listening to the noise that's coming out of not from the coaches, but from the players, not Shamaz Morgan only, but everybody's talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is talking about it. All the players. And that gives me the confidence that I already have because I'm a Michigan boy. And you know what I'm saying? And let's go blue all day. Gotta get out the smoke. And I just believe Sharon Moore is in a better place than he was
Yeah.
last year. And we about
What
to
you
go
say?
eat. We about to eat. So Maniac,
Problem
I
Okay.
is,
love you.
I agree
I
with
love
you.
you, but get with it.
I agree with you. I love your confidence, but I'm just thinking Oklahoma's defense ain't no
Hey,
slouch, man. They was
hey,
making a
they were,
lot of growth last year. And with
but
that
they got
head
beat.
coach and that defensive coordinator, they could throw some exotic looks at Bryce and might force a couple of mistakes. That's the
I,
only thing that I'm worried about for that game. I think that
but,
game is going to be the hardest game all year for Bryce
hey,
personally.
but let me hit you with this though. Did you watch Oklahoma bowl game?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, they were up on who? Navy. They were up on Navy, right? They were up
I'm
on Navy.
following.
Navy came back and won that bowl game. Beat Oklahoma with them people that's still returning. I ain't worried about Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Navy
I
put
So some of
Navy
those
put.
bowl games you
I
can't
get
take
what you
too
said,
much.
but I understand. So we shouldn't take it from the defensive line that came to our bowl game and put up that show that they did on the
No, I'm
thing.
not.
We
I'm
shouldn't.
not. I'm not saying
It's
our
the same.
defense.
It's the same thing, man. Navy
I'm
came
not.
all
I'm
the
not
way
saying
back.
our defense ain't gonna show out. I'm just
yeah.
saying, with him being a freshman coming in, seeing different looks, mistakes can happen. That's all I'm
Correct.
saying.
Hey,
But
the
Mama,
Tennessee,
but hold on,
hey,
Mama.
hold on. The Tennessee quarterback didn't have no experience and went to that same place last year as a redshirt freshman and got the job done. He didn't
Yeah,
do a
but
good
remember,
job.
Mama, this is 2 different things. Look, one, you mentioned it, red shirt. So he spent a year in the system. He knew he was there. He was in college for a year before he started. This is Bryce straight out of high school. That's one, right? He's straight out of high school, right? And 2, you got to understand that you can't. You got to remember he's Oklahoma. As much as you think they happy with their season, trust me, they out for blood this season too. So we just can't look at it on our side. You got to look at it on their side. Like all they receivers got hurt last year. Like it's something that
All of
And
never
them,
all of
happened. They
them
had like 5
transferred.
like,
receivers.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm not saying more. I want you to be clear here, champ. I'm not saying we don't win that game. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we can't win that game. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I know this is a game that Michigan can lose. And I'm just keeping it real. And if Michigan is to lose that game, I'm not going to be shocked at all. If Michigan wins, I won't be shocked neither because I see what this team has. But bro, experience at the quarterback position matters. When was the last time we saw a true freshman win the Natty? Jameis Winston. How long ago that was? Almost 10, 11 years ago. So that doesn't, that just shows you.
He was a red shirt. He transferred.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So he was a red shirt. So look at that. He still had 1 year under the system. And on top of that, Mama, Bryce is going to have the most pressure of any player in the NCAA next year because of the money, whatever, I don't know how much was it that they actually gave him, and him being the number one recruit. So once he throws an incomplete pass, people are going to say, oh, we overspent for him, and everybody going to try to cook him. Not me and not us here. But I'm just saying there's a lot of pressure. Trevor Lawrence, there you go. Buckeye Battle Cry. So there you go. And we know Bryce is the man. We know he got that talent. I hope he go in there and throws for 350 on Oklahoma. 4 touchdowns. Please. I hope. He might. I know that, but that's what I want to say. Like, I don't think that. I just don't think that's a slam dunk win. We know New Mexico. I'm not even worried about that game.
Yeah.
I just want to see how that offense looked in that first game. If we don't put up at least 45 on New Mexico State, we might have a problem.
It'll be 45-0 before halftime. That gonna get ugly. New Mexico ain't got nothing, bro. I was looking at their rosters. They have nothing.
And this is what I'm saying, Mama. That's why we don't score 45 on them. That's not going to be a good look for our offense.
And don't underestimate these other blue bloods, the hate they have for Michigan. Because, I mean, Texas proved it last year. Like, what they did after the game, that was unwarranted. You know, planting the flag and all that. Like, we ain't played them in how long? But that just goes to show the nationwide hate that these schools have for Michigan. I mean, it's a lot of respect, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. No. I agree.
What up, hey, 3M?
Maze. What's going on? Maze. Yo, you 100% right. And you got to remember, all these teams are also getting better. We're not in. Obviously, we Michigan fans, so we just focusing on our team and all these other outlets, pumping out news. But we don't know how Oklahoma looking or any of these other schools. Not that I really care, but we do play Oklahoma. So, yeah, there's going to be some concern to see what's going on with them. But, look, Michigan does, and I'm just speaking as a fan of the sport.
I respect everything y'all saying. Yeah. And then the chat,
Mama,
too.
I know. Listen,
I respect
Mama, you told us Michigan is going.
And the Michigan fans, but I'm different, man. I'm just telling y'all.
Yeah. And it's all right, but Mama, it's okay.
Up, like we say, buckle up.
But listen, Mama.
What you gonna do? Buckle
Mama,
up.
listen. Mama, listen. Last year, me and my brother over there, Maze, man, we did the preview show for the. We went. We said we going 12-0. We said we going 12-0. We getting back to the playoffs, man. Man, oh man, we lost 5 games in the regular season.
That's a fact. First thing, I just want to say, if it ain't one thing, it's a motherfucking another.
Facts.
No, but seriously, I'm with my guy Maniac. I'm with everybody who's saying, yo, that second game is important in terms of how we look in that game. Even if we lose that game and it's a close one, or we don't make crazy mistakes, or Bryce doesn't go out there and like his confidence is shaking. I feel good coming out of that game, even with a loss. It is on the road. It is, I'm sure we're probably gonna be I don't want to put odds on it just yet, but it is a road game. We probably are going to have a true freshman quarterback. I think somebody brought that up. And as much as I'm sure Sharon wants to go back to Oklahoma and win, I'm sure the people in Oklahoma want to beat Sharon, right?
Exactly.
So it works both ways. Exactly. There's some duality there, but I think what's most important about that game is that Michigan looks the part, bro. Like at least is on that trajectory towards being what we want, what ultimately they want to be. You know what I mean? So winning that game comes secondary to looking like a good football team, honestly, better than they did last year at the same time, for sure. Kind of building on those last 2 wins of last year, building on that Ohio State win, building on that Alabama bowl game win. That's what we want to see more than just a flat out win. Because if we win 7-3, you know what I mean, people still gonna have questions, right? But if we lose 30-27 and Bryce throws 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, but we give it up some way, that is different. That looks better than winning 7-3, where he went over there and turned the ball over 4 times. You know what I mean?
Big facts.
But Kanye was coaching Bryce Underwood.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop down, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all at the spring game. Me and my son gonna bump into y'all out there.
I
So if
can't
anyone
be
going,
good, champ.
we gonna be there.
Copy.
Sir.
All right, JG.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Hey, the week is upon us. The precipice of being in the big house. Let's go.
Yes. So, all right,
Hey,
Mama.
Johnny, leave me alone. I'm not cooking.
Mama, let me ask you this. So, realistically,
hold on, Maniac.
you see,
before you ask me this, you gotta understand who you talking to. You gotta understand you talking to a very confident Michigan fan, and I know we all.
Good. No, but this is, and that's good. This is why I'm going to ask you. So you saying based on Michigan's schedule, you see it, you could say it with your chest. Michigan goes 12-0, no problem.
Yeah, I do. I say it
all
with
right,
my
and there's no.
Hey, cause look, I'm the daddy. No, I'm just playing.
What the hell? I'm just playing. Hey, listen, because of the personnel we have coming back. So basically, I'm looking at it as, we had a down year, but throughout that down year, these guys developed and they kept developing. Then we seen the result. I'm not even gonna talk about the last 2 games of the season. I'm talking about the bowl game without most of our, starters. Like, that was confident builders. Dominic Nico said that too. He said, we approaching this stuff with confidence now compared to what we had last year because we didn't know, because I think Mays broke this down to me the other day about the personnel that we had last year. Nobody knew what it was going to look like. Now they got a better idea on what it looking like, what it looks like this year. And I'm not listening to the coaches because we learned from our past mistakes, right? So we're not going to listen to coaches. I'm listening to all the players that are coming out today compared to the players that were coming out last year, talking about what they're seeing, and then recruits. Not only our players, the recruits are talking about it. The new offenses are supposed to. They talk about the defense has always been where it's at. And if you listen to Dominic Nichols, he compared Georgia and Michigan's defense. He said, "Hey, that's why I chose Michigan over Georgia, because we do it different." And I just think they have a lot of confident young men out there that can go out there and get the job done. And then you hire all these analysts to come in and help with the coaches that wasn't getting it done on the offensive line, like the receiver coach and the offensive line coach. Now you got Costello and Soup in there, and so now you can
you hearing great things now from the players. So that's why I think I'm very confident in what they're going to see. We'll see on Saturday a little bit, a little snippet of it. We ain't gonna see a lot, but they gonna show us something to wow us in that stadium on Saturday.
You ain't gonna see it. You're gonna be back with that barbecue and frying all that chicken and all that.
Hey,
Johnny,
Johnny, them video, that video I sent you yesterday with them deep fried ribs. Stop playing, bro.
Yeah,
damn,
stop
that's deep fried
playing.
ribs.
Hey, listen, Maniac, the dude barbecued them. He grilled them on the grill. Then he cut them individually up. It was like 8, 9, 10 slabs. He cut all of them individually up, and then he deep fried them. He rolled them around in flour and then deep fried them. I said, bruh.
I never had deep fried ribs. But
that messed my equilibrium up.
Amazing.
That sounds like black people death. That's what that is.
Yeah. I'm taking a bite of that.
Bro, him and Paula Dean was out here giving the blueprint for Claude Daughters.
Hey, got the blueprint.
Yeah. You might just want to take one of those ribs, man. 3 or 4 of those. You might have a trip to the ER, man. But,
They were looking.
Marmar. I want them ribs. Look, spring game Saturday. I want them ribs. I want that fried chicken. I want some collard greens. I want
some sweet potatoes.
Collard greens. Hold on. I want some yams.
Yams, not sweet potatoes.
I want baked mac and cheese, Marmar.
I need that
government. Hey, I got a block of government cheese. I got you with the macaroni and cheese.
Grandma time. I don't want your whatever that is. No, I don't want that government cheese. I want the real cheese. I want Gouda. I want Swiss, provolone. I want it all. I want the faux cheese, mac and cheese, Mama. I want that baked because you send us all that food and we can't get it. It's on you. Spring game.
Mama. When Johnny acts, he gets. So you guys sit. It's a wrap. You gotta make sure.
I'm gonna be. You know I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna be right there in the stadium.
Look over like, what the hell? Let me read these super chats. So, appreciate the. He say super chat working. I'm out of jail. I'm out of YouTube jail.
Hey yo, pull Moose's comment up here because that's crazy. That's blasphemous.
Got you. Hold on. And JG King gifted 5 memberships.
Shout out to JG, man.
Let's see who gets that.
JG.
I think I got one of those. I'm a member. You should become a member.
You said Moose?
Yeah, Moose. Moose. Which one is it? At 2:43 p.m. Moose said some blasphemy.
Let me go up.
He said he would rather eat.
The one before that, I guess. Collard greens is
you wildin', Moose.
Yeah,
you wildin'. Wildin'. I want my greens, ham hock in it. Turkey neck. Yeah. I'm taking you back. I don't like the okra. I don't like the okra
either.
I don't do that now. You wildin'. Garrison said, "Excuse me, Moose."
Yeah. Crazy, bro.
Excuse me. What's going on?
Yo, so you saw that one of the old linemen we had gotten from the portal has re-entered the portal.
Who?
I remember government cheese.
Me too.
Facts.
Yeah.
Remember
the one from Ferris State?
What? Norton?
Yeah, I think didn't Connecticut put it in the chat, guys? I gotta look at it. Yo, believe it or not, Garrison, I know chopped cheese in New York has become synonymous with chopped cheese. I'm not really a big fan of a chopped cheese. I'd rather make it in my crib, man. But I'm kind of done with those, you know.
Man.
But some places make it good though.
You just need Granny to make you them collard greens.
There you go. It all depends.
I can make a pot of collard greens right now, and he'll go crazy.
Y'all need to come when y'all come. If y'all come to New York, I'm gonna take y'all to Dykeman, man. You're gonna get some good Spanish Dominican food. You're gonna be dancing salsa. You're gonna be like, hey, wepa. Hey. Johnny gonna be having on the Johnny gonna wear the
Guantanamera.
I would be like, Dida, tra.
Yo, y'all gonna come back home Dominican. Y'all girls gonna be like, yo, what's wrong with you?
Hey, I want jerk chicken in New York. Period.
Oh yeah, I know some Jamaicans.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
When I come to New York.
Yeah, man. So look, they have. I know Georgia, Notre Dame, Ohio State. What?
I gotta give Ohio State this credit. Notre Dame played a spring game on the same day. Nobody was talking about that.
Really? Notre Dame spring game was yesterday?
Nobody was talking about a Notre Dame spring game, man.
Ain't nobody care about them except my man Dallas fan. He just think Notre Dame is the greatest university in history, and they get all the best recruits, and they just gonna beat everybody.
Right.
But I didn't get to watch any of them. But again, I'm not going. Even if Michigan doesn't look good in their spring practice, I'm not gonna be upset because again, the spring game last season was so, and that's kind of the season we had. But it was just a quarterback. I think we had a good team. We just didn't have a competent quarterback, which is kind of bad. But regardless, at least we want to see. I know JG King was talking about it, and I agree. I want to see some passes downfield. You know, even if it's limited, even if it's a limited playbook that we see, which we are, because come on, it's the spring game. So it's who that? Unapologetic. Hey,
how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
Good. All right now.
I got a big here. You see that? Look. I'm actually out walking right now, Johnny. I'm out on a cardio walk. It's kind of cold where I'm at, but I just wanted to drop in and tell everybody hi. Hope everybody have a good one. I'm so glad they put you out of jail finally, Johnny. We need you to come back on the panel, to Maniac, to all of the other alpha males up here. Y'all keep bringing that in because we love it over here. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it.
Keep bringing it. So I want y'all to have a good afternoon. I got to get out of here. And next time, I keep saying I'm going to come up and talk football, Johnny, but not today. I had to pop in because I was last week. But y'all have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful day. And God bless y'all.
Yo, hold on. Before you log off, baby girl, that drip is phenomenal. Just to let you know, baby, you look beautiful in that blue.
Oh, don't flatter me too much. Thank you so much. I'm blowing kisses to all of y'all. All y'all fine men. Y'all gonna get me in trouble on
they called it.
No, we're not.
Hey, yo, this boy is crazy. Energy is just too much for me sometimes.
I'm just playing, man. I'm a clown. I'm just playing.
What you say, Mama?
I was just playing. I said I caught it. I'm just playing.
It's all good. I love it. I know Johnny got a girl, and I don't want to get him in trouble. So, you know.
Go.
I love when he put on them blue shades. Okay, don't tell your girl I said.
Okay, Johnny.
Wait a minute. Before you go, Johnny, how serious is your relationship? No,
listen. You can subscribe to Johnny's OnlyFans.
Hey, Johnny, you gotta speak on that. You gotta speak.
What you mean?
I'm not gonna get them in trouble. But y'all fellas have a wonderful day, and I want y'all to know I enjoy every live I'm able to come up here. Like I told
Mm-hmm.
you the last time, they tried to say I was an avatar. I had to come up here and show my face.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love to rock Michigan gear sometimes, and we got a rep over here for all the ladies.
No
So
doubt.
okay, well y'all fellas have a blessed one. Okay,
You too.
Absolutely.
Go blue.
God
Appreciate
Go
you.
blue.
blue, go blue.
Go
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah, that was wow. That was that damn that felt different in a good
Okay,
way.
Johnny. No, I swear.
He said Johnny parking lot pimping out there. Wait.
Yeah. Here we go.
Hey,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was unapologetic. She came in like mid last year. I started seeing her pop up, and she been joining all the lives, and she cool. She cool. You know, they
She
did
is.
try to
She
they
is.
tried her. They tried to say that her avatar was fake. You know, she
Nah.
had
Wow.
call them out. I had
She's
to tell
she's
them,
and
leave
no
the
no
women that come in the
shout the
chat alone.
unapologetic man. She's cool. She's always in the chat showing love. She bleed blue. You saw her drip. She had that Scully, that shirt. Okay, girl, don't hurt nothing.
Yeah,
Don't
she was
hurt
dripped out.
nothing.
Yeah, she got the glasses on.
Yeah, she was there.
I
Yeah,
seen
you
Lil
saw that.
Tim
She got those
popped up in his
glasses.
Look at
thing
Garrison.
on.
Hey, nah, don't leave Garrison around your
Mm-hmm.
ladies.
Yeah.
Garrison out here trying to.
Hold
Oh,
on, hold on.
no. Put them back on. Put them back on. No
Right
I
fret.
now,
seen,
you gotta leave him on because
I seen little Tim pop out with his shades
yo,
when
I
on
Yeah.
saw
Poly.
Tim too. Tim got up and went for
I
this shit
said,
when she came
okay.
up.
Yo,
Tim
Tim,
popped
listen. He said, "Oh, you gonna like me with mine too."
up.
Yeah. I see you, Tim. You little
Mm-hmm.
player. You a little player. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But it's exciting, man. We already.
Got right in the camera too, like
Yeah.
in his
You got
lips.
the up close. We already mid April, man.
Oh, yes.
The
Thanks.
summer go fast, man. Once we hit August, the season is here, man. Because now the season starts the second to last week of August is considered week 0. And then the last Saturday of August is week 1. So, bro, I'm
Yep.
telling you, man, the season will be upon us very soon. You're talking about 4 months away. That'll be right there, man. Michigan has a lot to make up for, but yes, we did end the season the way we would want to. Did we want to go lose 5 games? Come on. And it's funny when people say that, oh, the difference between y'all okay with 5 lost seasons. Which Michigan fan is okay with that? We're not. We accept it. When we lose, we say we lost. We don't say, well, there was 12 men on the field and our offensive coordinator, he didn't run the right schemes and he was, we not here saying excuses. We take our losses and keep it moving. So 5 losses is unacceptable,
That's
right?
how it
Based on
was.
what we did. So we're going, I think we're gonna be much better. Wait, we're gonna be much better this year. We have to be.
Unlike the Scarlet and Gray
It's
State.
yeah,
Good.
exactly. So let me say. So I know I've asked this, but I just want to make sure
That'll count.
everybody's on the same page. Is this playoff or bust for Michigan?
Playoff.
With the schedule, I think it is. I think if the schedule was like I don't know, even last year's schedule, maybe I would think a little differently. But this schedule, I feel like it probably is playoff or bust. We know we got markedly better at quarterback, no matter who starts. They're an upgrade over what we had last year. And it's if you want to argue 3 games on the schedule that are tough, then maybe. But I think with the schedule, Michigan has to make the playoffs.
Yeah, we got to get it.
I guess that depends on everybody's win-loss, but I'm assuming that it's not going to be 11, 12, and no teams. You know what I mean?
Not likely. The way the conferences are doing it, trying to set up their best teams with favorable schedules too.
Right.
So ain't no excuse. We need to get in there this year. Like I can't sit back and watch Ohio State get in the playoff again, whether we beat them or not, and we going to who cares bowl. It ain't the playoff, so who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like I can't deal with it again, bro. We got to get in there this year.
Yeah. No, definitely, man. And this is why, man, I think, again, two things. This is also why I'm eager, right? We know Bryce Underwood, again, generational talent, but how quick does he grasp the playbook,
Right.
right? How much of the playbook is Lindsley willing to open up, right? Because that doesn't guarantee, because he's a generational talent, means he's going to grasp the playbook 1, 2, 3. So, just because you are good, you could dunk good doesn't mean you could shoot good. So we got to understand that. But if he could get like 80% of that playbook down once we get into August, it's gonna be good. So I'm eager to see that the playbook. How much of it are we gonna use?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what he's comfortable with and what he's exactly comfortable with, and then them adding on it as the season goes on. But you got to have a foundation of something. His bread and butter plays, what he really likes to do, whether that's post slants, post corners, go routes.
Is Bryce Mobile's speed faster than Alex Orji?
Oh yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Orji runs stiff. He runs real stiff. Like if like he almost runs like he's scared he's gonna pull a muscle. It almost seems like.
he run like he looked. That's crazy.
Bro, because we forget that he's the one that first got us into Ohio State territory this year. He had that 25-yard run, bro. That should have easily been a touchdown.
Yeah. But I know if that was Donovan Edwards, they would have scored.
Oh, that's a touchdown if it's Donovan Edwards for sure.
Yeah, or Camille Mullins or Blake, whoever.
Yeah.
Or even
They're
JJ,
good.
but
Do you guys think, because this is going to be, as much as we love Bryce, but the key thing here is going to be Michigan's O-line. That's more important. I know we talking about, the wide receivers and the quarterback, but bro, that O-line needs to gel much quicker this season than it did last year. They came on late. Reason why we beat Ohio State, reason we was able to beat Alabama. But from the gate, I think this O-line needs to gel. Now, the good thing is
Hey, Maniac.
we don't go ahead.
Hey, who your I asked Maze this last night. We just started 11, but I'm gonna ask you because you're speaking on the O line. Who your starting O line? Who you want to see as the starting O line?
So it's I want the best, right? But we know we're gonna go with the two veterans right off the rip, right? My man, keep it gangster, dog, keep it gangster. My man Crippen, he gonna be Crippen on that field this year, right? Greg Crippen, that's our center, right? But I think Strayhorn is doing good in practice from what they saying. Of course, right guard Giovanni Alhadi, he's another veteran. So I mean that's a given. Now, as far as the corners go, it's to me, Evan Link should hold one of them spots. I think he proved last season that yes, he went through his ups and downs, and we were cooking him and frying him and hibachiing him, but he proved to say, look, I got much better. You've seen why he did in them last two games, especially. Then Sprague, true freshman against Alabama, held his own. Now the question becomes that left guard. Is it a Phobie? I don't know. They asked someone else, so we'll see what it is now. So we'll see, man.
Penn State just had two. One of them was an All-American. The other one was a full-time starter. Two offensive linemen in the portal. We need one of them, at least one of them. We really need the All-American one, but the other one, he's started 16 games. We need him whichever one. We need one of them because we won't know exactly what this offense can be until that offensive line shows us how good they are. We can't say we want to throw downfield if they can't pass block again You get what I'm saying? So that's the foundation in the jail. The offensive line has to gel before we know what this offense truly can be.
And that's why I'm saying, Johnny, because I think people are overlooking and just assuming. I think we're gonna be much improved, but how quick are we gonna gel? Right. And especially that there's really no time. Second week, we at Oklahoma, and that's gonna really tell us a lot because now you got a lot of silent counts. You have to be in sync. Now, by it, even a veteran O-line is gonna have a 4-star or 2 in row environments. It is what it is. But we gotta limit them because, like I mentioned, 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 6 on the road for a true freshman is 2 different worlds, man. So that we got to make sure that O-line's in sync and that we're not making mental mistakes, right? And like you said, you got to pass block. It don't matter. Bryce could throw 80 yards. If we can't protect them, what's the point?
Exactly.
Real quick, I saw Buckeye Battle Cry make a comment about. First of all, they said they were going to be at the spring game. Shout out to that. We hope to see all of y'all at the spring game. Secondly, they made a comment about why they don't understand us hyping up basically the Alabama game or whatever. The point is we won the game, right? Michigan has a winning record, number 1 against Alabama now. Michigan has a winning record against the SEC. Meanwhile, the Buckeyes have a losing record against Alabama, have a losing record against the SEC. So all of that matters. And it's not just a Michigan versus Ohio State thing here. It's, historically, Michigan has winning records against damn near everybody. The same can be said for Ohio State too, but that's one of those teams that you don't, and now we do. And it was important for Michigan's football team really to build off of the win against Ohio State, and obviously getting that win in that bowl game against starters. They played starters in that game. That was their starting quarterback. You know what I mean? When Michigan had a bunch of defensive starters not play that game, right? Ryan Williams played in that game. So it was just a confidence builder coming into this season. That win is pretty important for Michigan football, if we're being honest.
And look, Buckeye Battle Cry, I get it. Look, it's a bowl game. I'm not sitting here saying we're glorifying it, but for them same reasons that Mays just mentioned, man, that they had their starters. They took that bowl game serious, right? It meant something to Alabama. Like, we don't care. We're going to go in here. We're going to run these boys over. We didn't have Mason Graham. We didn't have Kenneth Grant. We didn't have Colston Loveland. We didn't have Will Johnson. So our best players didn't play there. What happened, Johnny?
Josiah Stewart set that game out too, didn't he?
Yeah, and Josiah Stewart. So, for all those players to sit out and for us to dominate, see, that's the difference. The Michigan defense dominated that game. They said, well, y'all won't be able to. Yeah, it's funny, but you see, and I'm glad, I'm glad he brought that up, right? Because Ohio State fans, they laugh at the Reliaquez Bowl. I'll get it. But just a year ago, they were in the what bowl? The Cotton Bowl or whatever, the honey and mustard, put your mother in a headlock bowl and score 3 points in that bowl game.
Right.
That was just in a bowl game. So when Ohio State fans say it, y'all celebrating Reliaquez Bowl. Bro, y'all was just in the bowl game. Stop acting like y'all been in the playoffs 8 straight years. No, y'all just started a streak of making the playoffs. So calm down, bro. Pump the brakes. Yes, it's the Reliaquez. We're not saying, we won it. But the confidence that these players get and the momentum, more importantly, the momentum that Michigan gets going into that. And in case you thought the Jeremiah Smith game was a fluke, we did it to Ryan Williams as well. Y'all were both in the lawn. He threw y'all inside a washing machine and put y'all to dry for like 3 hours. Just stay in there. And that's that.
That's
the two best receivers, arguably, in college football. Or the 2 best freshman receivers.
Buckeye Battle Cry went to Michigan.
Stop playing.
I'm bothered, bro. I'm bothered.
What?
In the comment right above Garrison's Reliant Quest Bowl comment, Buckeye Battle Cry said, I went to Michigan. Because Burks said, is it true that you went to Michigan? He then said, where did you hear that? Then he confirmed that he went to Michigan.
This is diabolical.
This is crazy, bro.
Crazy.
This is wild behavior.
It needs to be investigated.
This is untoward.
You so confused.
You don't know. Hey.
Is willing for the rival now.
No, so you know what? He needs to get up here, man. Battle Cry, get up here. Explain to us, how does that happen? Now, I get it. I'm from New York, and none of my teams, major sports, are from New York. But that's different, bro. Going to a school, a prestige school like Michigan, and being an Ohio State fan, he has to be the first one I know. I'm pretty sure he's not the first, but this is definitely weird behavior.
Buckeye Battle Cry is supposed to come on the show, but I don't know if he wants to come up with all of us up here. You know what I'm saying?
We not. Listen, the only person that gets put in the headlock is Garrison all the time. He get put in the headlock. And I give it to Garrison. He goes swinging. He's the kid that he's not afraid to walk through the tough neighborhood. He get beat up all the time, but at least he's tough enough to walk through it. And he get our respect, so we respect him. But he get put in the headlock. Battle Cry, we come in peace. Now, if you come on that time, then I always got the clip fully loaded. It's on safety. It's on safety. But if I let it go, it's going to be the whole clip. Or he's trolling. I don't know. But, and you know.
Oh, he said,
I don't think he
got into with Ohio State fans about the percentage in Michigan.
Yo, so Buckeye, get up in here. Just explain it a little. We just want to talk, man. We just want to talk. Come outside. We just want to talk. That's all it is.
That's what shout out to G, bro.
Come outside, Buckeye. Come on.
Come outside, bro. That's
bro.
crazy.
Come outside.
We don't want that to come outside, bro.
Just come outside, man. Yeah.
Come on.
That's insane, bro.
Oh man, that was funny, man. But
That's funny.
Yeah, but you know, listen. Shout to the Buckeye fans we do mess with. We showed that we're Michigan channels that we don't promote that kind of hate. We dislike Ohio State with every inch of our body, but there are a couple of cool OSU fans in here. So shout to them. They come in here, they show love. We don't boot them, we don't mod them unless you're Garrison. He come up with the story how he got modded and Maze Man show. Oh my God, he got modded. So the world has to end now because he got modded. He said, "Don't buy that shit." Battle Cry trying to sell. Well, that's why we want him to come up here. Let him. You know, we're gonna give him the floor. Let's see what he got to say regarding that.
They said Garrison wore black fingernail paint in high school.
Oh man, they telling
and long trench coats. Hey, wait, what's happening here?
Garrison flat ironed his hair and had it.
Bro, they said Garrison had a corn poster in his locker.
Oh, put that comment. Yo, I could see it with them big black roach stomping boots.
the platforms.
Yeah.
13 pounds, bro.
Oh, Garrison, they cooking you right now.
Yo, listening to Corn. Yo, Jay Marion, shout to you, champ. That's hilarious.
Sit down. Garrison, boys on college football.
Where's Steve at? Where my man Steve, man?
Will never get old, bro.
Wow.
That's the best.
He said he's taking the day off. Yeah, they say
shout.
But Rob was here, is in here. You know, I'm about to pull him up. Buckeye Battle Cry. We were supposed to do some. It was actually today, and then I said, wait, because he said he didn't want to be up with everybody because y'all some wild animals.
No.
Y'all some animals. Steve, look at Tim. He just ready to go on and cook him. Calm down. calm down, Tim. Just calm down. Don't cook him now. Just see what he got to say.
Yeah. Let's see.
What's up, Rob?
What's up?
What up, Rod?
Not much.
Yeah, where the other
Hey,
guy
so
at?
I gotta get out of here real quick. For some reason, like I'm hearing Johnny's voice previously, what he was saying. So let me get out of here and get back on real quick.
All right.
What's going on?
Make sure you got your YouTube off or mute your YouTube because that happens too. If you watch it on YouTube, make sure you mute that.
Yeah, they saying you the goth kid though.
Yeah, you was gothic. Yeah, Johnny Gothic. You're right. Johnny. Garrison.
Yeah, they saying you was the dude in the lunchroom sitting by himself singing and
hey,
it was your life after mine, didn't I?
Hey, no. I will say, Corn got some joints. They got a couple joints.
Yeah. No, there was,
I think they speaking about the image.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Man, is it like 100% see Garrison like that? Even though I know that wasn't the case, but I could see it. And he was a cornerback at that. And on top of that, and he putting receivers on lock in his trench coat. What happened? Yeah.
All right, Rob is back. So I'm gonna bring up Rob. And Burks, I see you. I'm gonna bring you up shortly too.
What's up, you guys?
What's going on?
What's up?
Not
much. So tell us how you went to Michigan and you're an Ohio State fan.
For those who you do not believe me, here is my University of Michigan degree. Graduated with high distinction, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. So the reason why it was a lot of work is because I played high school ball, and this is kind of like a deep story. So I played high school ball. Got in some trouble. Didn't go to school for a while, and then when I got into Michigan, starting going through some depression. This wasn't the first time, and so my dad was like, "Okay, we'll go to this clinic. We'll get you a brain scan." And it turned out that due to head injuries in football, I'd lost function part of the left side of my brain, and I had to do neurofeedback for 2 years in order to get it back. But all is well. Ended up getting my Michigan degree, but the whole story behind that is, I couldn't, and man, I'm probably gonna get dogged on for this, but I couldn't understand the whole celebrating, I guess, mediocrity and because just like celebrating you've won a lot of games, and this is going back to my childhood. I'm hearing leaders in the best, champions in the West. I'm like, well, what have they won? Where's all these champions?
So you were you ever a Michigan fan or
no, man? And I was never a Michigan fan, never a Michigan State fan. Just started watching football when I was in the 5th grade, and just previously watching Michigan. What was that, Johnny?
Kind of how old are you? So I can get
34, about to be 35. And
okay.
So
you weren't watching when Michigan won the 97. You weren't really paying attention.
No, I wasn't really paying attention. I know that
sense.
Michigan won a lot of games in the 30s, the 40s, or whatever. And
calm down.
I know about the I know about the 10-year war between Bo and Woody and stuff. But other than that, I didn't understand the appeal of hyping up this program that just won their first national championship since 1997. So to me, that was kind of annoying. Then look, my father was a Michigan man. He went to Michigan as well, and just he'd always hype the program. Then I grew up around a lot of other Michigan fans. You know, here's all these people hyping this program like you're walking around like you're actual champions, but you know, where's the trophies? You know, I'm seeing USC, I'm seeing Texas, you know, Ohio State got one in, then you know, Alabama had their run. And to me, you know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, you know what? I don't like Michigan football. They're too hyped up right now. And you know, I developed, you know, that I don't like to use the word hate because you know, I don't hate Michigan fans. I don't want to think like, oh, you know, here's battle cry, you know, just this venomous Ohio State fan. That's not me. You know, if you guys ever come on via our channel, you know, we tell nothing but the truth. We're not like these biased like Ohio State fans who are just talking about, you know, sign gate and all the other stuff. But yeah, you know, it's just like, and then, you know, I watched Ohio State a couple times, and you know, growing up, like Maurice Clarett is still my favorite Buckeye. Like he's my all-time favorite Buckeye. I'll never forget, you know, when he made that strip sack against Sean Taylor. The dude never gave up. You know, I even,
True.
you know, I even wore the number 13 in honor of him, you know, growing up playing youth football. So yeah, that's just, and then, you know, Jim Trussell, you know, it was sad seeing how he got fired. You know, at the end of the day, he thought he was covering for some, you know, Terrell Pryor and all of them, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, he should have, you know, took care of himself, you know, so that was really sad. But, you know, looked at the Jim Trussell as well growing up. You know, he actually lives by about what he talks, other than unlike Urban Meyer, who wrote this book, but he doesn't live by the morals that are in that book. But yeah, that's my Ohio State fandom story. So
it's kind of interesting. I mean, I get what you're saying. You kind of came in similar to Garrison and a lot of these other Ohio State fans. You started watching when Michigan was kind of on a down run.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim, that's you, Tim. You got to clean your room, Tim.
Yeah.
Clean your room.
You need to
Clean your room.
You wow. You
Hey,
wow.
but wait, Maniac, you want to go?
Yeah. So no, and it just I just kind of and understand it. Listen, at the end of the day, everyone, you know, that's your right to root for whoever. There's no, you know, police here to say, hey, you can't root for them. But I would say, you know, just to kind of answer your question, right? You say, hey, where's all these championships at? Well, they were winning Big Ten championships. And as you know, college football for a long time until the end of the 97 season, which Michigan and Nebraska were considered the national champions. But anyone who knows the watch football that season know that Michigan was the best team. But anyway, that's here nor there. So that meant everything. Winning your conference and going to the Rose Bowl. Michigan was very big on that. That's hence why they were the leaders and best and the champions of the West, right? And I get it. In your mind's like, yo, I need to see national champions. And I get it. And unfortunate, as you know, the Big Ten and the Pac-12 had this contract where the winner of the conferences had to play each other. They couldn't go play in the Orange Bowl against a SEC team or in the Sugar Bowl against a Big 12 team. You couldn't do that in the Big 10 at that time. You had to go play the Pac-12 winner, which kind of sucked, right? This is why if Michigan was in the ACC in 97, we probably get Nebraska, Michigan in the Orange Bowl. But being that they were tied to that contract, we had to go to the Big Ten. I mean, the Rose Bowl and play the Washington State. But look, Ohio State, it is a prestige college. We've mentioned that here many times. We know they one of the better blue bloods. And I get it, but it's just weird for school, right? But I want to ask you this: why you chose Michigan, right? Were there other schools in there? Because obviously you academically you were very good because to get accepted to that school. So was Michigan your first choice? or that was something, being that you said your father is a graduate of UM as well, that it was kind of some pressure there to go?
Well, no, there was never pressure. It's just that, I always chose my own way in life. I had to start from the bottom, didn't get the best grades. So, I had to start at schoolcraft, work my way up, put in those hours. And Garrison, just put in those hours.
He didn't want to do that.
I originally got into Michigan State. And this is my first time talking about it. This is where the depression story comes in as well.
I would be depressed too if I got
but no, it's just like, I just became depressed up there, and I was gonna take my own life. But praise be to God that I didn't. But then I applied to Michigan, got in. Like any Buckeye fan who wants to argue with me that Michigan academics is garbage, I argue back saying, hey, there's not one job I've never got a call in the interview. Like the Michigan degree opens a lot of doors. It's a great academic university. It opens a lot of doors for you. Just having that Michigan emblem on your resume, or just the name, that, or you graduated with high distinction, or whatever. It's a great thing to have, and it's the biggest networking bit amongst the alumni. I mean, we all take care of each other. So yeah.
Yeah, Rob, I apologize. Actually, I brought this up. So actually, because you actually, to tell you the truth, Rob, I lied about some guy mentioned it. You actually mentioned this a couple of months back on the Voice of College Football Michigan. So sorry about bringing that up. I kind of put you in the spotlight, but yeah.
No, it's cool, man, because it's cool, because just like, well, they probably do think I'm trolling. I'm just some Buckeye, who's on here sitting with the Michigan, just to ruffle some feathers. Yeah. But nope, man. Here, I'll show it again, man, because I'm proud to show this. I worked hard for it right here.
Respect, man.
Good. As you should.
Listen, you're always welcome here, dude. You're like, there's no need to lie about this or keep it a secret. It's actually cool. I think it's really cool, the story. Your story is amazing. So
let me ask you, Rob, did you attend Michigan football games when you were attending school?
No, I didn't. Okay. And here's the thing, I didn't attend parties either, man. I was just, look, I'm 34. I went to college. College later than the average.
Okay, yeah.
Someone who graduated in 2009. So I was just looking to put in the work. I was really focused and driven to hit the books and get things done. You probably would have seen me in the libraries on the weekend. So
no
but
doubt.
Yeah, I was just driven to go be great.
Are you gonna wear Michigan gear in the spring game or no?
No, I'm gonna wear my Big Ten T-shirt. Neutral.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, well, let me ask this, man, and I appreciate you, man, for opening up, man, regarding because that's not easy, right? I do have family members. Wait, mommy, I do have family members that suffer from the same issues, right? And that's not to be taken lightly, right? And as men, we are told, just man up, man up. No, it ain't always about man up, man. We need to speak to somebody sometimes, and sometimes let out. Listen, as you see me, I'm animated. Animated. I'm emotion. Man, every movie I cry. I watch every movie. I cry like a little kid. I'm an emotional dude when it comes to certain things. Like, I don't care. I'm okay with that because I know what I am. But to open up, things are just big. These certain things are just bigger than the rivalry, right? And stuff like that, man. I'm glad you open up because it shows people like, yo, listen, We all go through, we all battling something, right? Every single person up here in the chat, right? Some people's problems are a little bigger than others, but you know, you've come a long way from that to a degree. Now, you know, the only thing that went wrong is that you chose Ohio State to be a fan of. That's all the only thing. But regardless, man, I do salute you on your journey and how far as you come, and just to open up with that and with Michigan fans, right? And it just shows you that we're not the type of guys to just, you know, make it. Nah, man, after rivalry, bro, at the end of the day, Ohio State fan or not, someone reaches out to me and be like, yo, Maniac, I'm going through something, bro. If I could help you, because mental health is important, man. I work at a hospital, so I see it all the time. And it's a serious, serious issue that we're facing a lot, man. So, man, shout to you on that, brother. And I'm glad that you're doing much better, man. God bless you.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
My nephew actually played on the team back in 2013 to 2017. Garrett Moores, he was
Nice.
the placeholder of the year. I know that, but yeah, he was the placeholder of, I know that's like, okay, why are you celebrating this? There's actually a YouTube video out there. It's kind of like a parody where he's accepting his award with Harbaugh and them, look it up. It's actually pretty funny. But yeah, my nephew played on the team from 2013 to 17. He was a walk-on from Catholic Central. He first got in there when Hoke was there, and then Harbaugh came in as well. And he was really a walk-on, but he ended up being put on scholarship his last year, so that was it's cool.
Yo, day one, I'm good.
Hey, yo, first of all, when Maniac reminded me he works at a hospital, the first thing I can think of, can you imagine Maniac being your doctor? He come by, look at your chart. All right. It says you have a broken femur. we're gonna get you down to the OR. Unless you're wearing scarlet and red, of course. Then we just gonna roll you out the window here.
We'll just give you some water. We'll give you water and just send you on your way.
Crazy, bro.
That's funny.
Man, but nah, like my guy said, your story is amazing. And I was ready to get on here and rib you. I'm gonna be honest, until you obviously opened up.
And like my mom always told me, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes to make it. So
for sure, man.
Yeah. But I was actually at the spring game yesterday for Ohio State. I was in 27 AA. But I was man, actually, I don't know if you guys probably have your own agenda. I don't want to like shift off into talking about the Ohio State spring game if you guys aren't
no
interested
go ahead.
in that.
Tell us about it.
All right. Yeah, I the one, like, first off, I think Sayan has secured the quarterback job, out of Keen Holtz, great competitor, great athlete, but I just, like I was telling my co-host Peter, for some, Ohio State football is a reality, and for some, it's a dream school. And I feel like, when Keenholz and Brown were brought in, I think they were just brought in to fill the quarterback room, not as potential starters. So, hats off to Keenholz for, sticking it out, trying to get that starting job. But I think we'll see him enter the transfer portal in the coming weeks when it opens. And of course, wide receiver room.
It's already open.
What?
The portal is already open.
Oh, it is. I didn't know that. I don't. But yeah, the wide receiver room looking great. Quincy Porter, man, like, he looks like Megatron Jr. I mean, he has yet to live up to that name, but I mean, his footwork is quick. great hands. And Mylan Graham, I wouldn't be surprised if other schools tried to come and scoop him up. I mean, the speed, his the vertical, just hands. He obviously put in a lot of work. One concern I do have, and I'm probably other Ohio State Buckeye fans have, is the defensive line. I mean, looking at the depth chart, I mean, it's pretty small. I mean, we're talking like 255, 260 rather than, the last 2 or 3
Those running
years. I
backs,
mean,
they went all over your defensive line. They went all over your
yeah.
defensive
So,
line.
so here's what I was thinking. Either, Tyler Bowen is already putting in a lot of work with the offensive line, because that's been the biggest concern when Fry was there. That's the biggest concern when Fry was there, was always like, okay, there's gonna be some issues with the offensive line. And it's just like, it was frustrating because you have all these skill players, like Junkins, Henderson, and just they have in the past, just like, and the quarterback is like, it doesn't matter if you don't have anybody to block for them. So it's either Bowen has did this complete 180 with offensive line, they're going to be good to go, or there's big problems that's going to happen with the defensive line. Now, it is going to be a lot of work to be able to fill the shoes of Tyler Williams, Ty Hamilton, JTT, and Jack Sawyer. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, Ohio State recruits well, but that doesn't mean that at some point, some deficiencies
And
are
Michael Hall
going to
Jr.
show up. I mean, yeah, but he was gone, like he was gone after the 23 season, so that point is kind of like, it's kind of moot,
Those dudes
But
played a ton of snaps.
they
That's the
go on,
problem.
Johnny. Sorry.
No, you good, but that's the problem. JTT, Jack Sawyer, Tyleek, and those dudes, they played a ton of snaps. That's a lot of veteran leadership. And just because you had backups that came in and they played okay, it's not the same as being a starter. And now the guy that was third string, now he has to be a backup. You don't even know, you're hoping that he can step in and do what those backups did last year. Everybody's role changes and gets greater, and some of those dudes are unproven. You're hoping that they'll be good. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. The secondary looks good. Not really concerned with that. But other than that, glad that more than likely the quarterback position, it's going to be squared away, because if you look at, there hasn't been a consistent starter since Stroud, and then even before that, you had Fields, who was just like, okay, starter day one, then didn't even have to worry about the next season, 2-year starter, then Stroud 2-year starter, then you have the battle between Brown and McCord, and just like, okay, either they're both really good or there's going to be issues, and being that they're both not really good. And then you have the whole brought in Will Howard, he's learned a new system. Brown is also competing with him as well. And it's just like, it would just be like nice for like the first time a while that there's just no uncertainty that's a position, because like the wide receiver room, I mean, hats to Brian Hartline. He's been putting in work. I mean, when you have like everybody on your team could be a wide receiver one at all these different schools, I mean, that's a great problem to have. But it doesn't matter if you don't have a quarterback who can have proper delivery, just the tangibles to be able to ship the ball everywhere, and not be like, okay, fuck it, Jeremiah Smith down there somewhere, or F it, the year before, Kyle McCord pretty much closed his eyes and chucked downfield to Marvin Harrison Jr. So yeah.
You know that Espinosa, he was a corner, and he had the worst penalties. That's gonna be fixed.
Man, honestly, like I'm admit this, I was kind of hoping that he didn't come back because that's a problem that's a problem that I don't want the defense to have because that's a game changer right there. You know, you saw on the in the Texas game. I mean, he caught like he was the reason why it kept being, you know, it was second and goal. Then oh, there's another Igmanosin flag. Okay, now we're first and goal. And then just like it's third, oh, another Igmanosin flag. Like if he hasn't fixed those, he costs him a game. And if he wants to get the
And
pros,
Denzel
forget
too,
about
but
it
he
because
gone. So Denzel gone.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
if Igmanosin wants to get to the pros, he needs to fix that up because in the pros it's 15 yards from the spot of the foul. So I mean, I was hoping he didn't come back, but you know, obviously he wants to raise his draft stock. Can't blame a guy for doing that, but I just hope he's less handsy.
Another thing about his problem, but when this college, if they catch if they catch the if they get a first down and and, and, and he get a foul, they won't add that the extra 15. And he's saying that the NFL the the he the he foul the he fouls the wide receiver and the wide receiver that he still catches the ball and it's a first down. They're going to add the extra 15 no matter
Yeah.
what.
And the NFL, they have the spot fouls. I really don't agree with that. But as far as Ohio State goes, right, just looking at them on the neutral, not even as a Michigan fan, of course, talent is something you guys never had an issue with. I mean, maybe in the 2011 season. That's about 14 years ago. So y'all always had dressed up a team that was always capable of winning the national championship for the last 10 to 12 years. But like we same thing with us Michigan fans, reality hit us last season. We lost our OC, we lost our DC, we lost about 80% of that roster. Like, but some of us, including myself, I'm like, hey, we ain't gonna really, you know, be that bad. No, we were bad. So I don't think you guys lose 5 games this season. I don't say Ohio State is going to have that kind of season, but I think 3 losses is very possible. And that might not happen, right? But I'm just saying because Brian Hartline, yes, he's arguably the best. He is the best wide receiver recruiter in all the nation. You guys, yeah, just is an embarrassment of
Actually,
riches.
we did have our OC, but when he became the head coach,
Yeah, he
he
became the head
wanted to
coach.
take a
So
break from
yeah,
the
Tim.
play
So they
calling.
moved Kurt Campbell. You saw why he did. So I'm pretty sure Ryan Day is gonna hold his hand at times and say, listen, no. Let's go this way. But if he leaves it all to Brian Hartline, that's gonna be interesting to see. And Matt Patricia as well. Now, we joked on it, we troll OSU for hiring him, but at the end of the day, he's still a very good defensive mind. We can't take that from him. But it's the college level. And it's going to be challenges for him, no matter how talented are the guys he has there. And it's not those veteran guys like Johnny mentioned, the JT Sawyers, the JTs, the other guy, your linebacker, number 0.
The Cody Simons.
Yeah, Corey Simon. They just had a lot of veterans. Denzel Burke, even though what Oregon did to him is criminal,
Burnt
the first
toast.
game. But
Burnt
Iggy, what
toast.
I would say too about Iggy, though, that if he's not getting the flag, he's in position. You know, so it's either or with him. It's either he makes a good play or it's a flag.
We like
He's
Iggy.
slick. He holds so much that they won't call it every time.
Yeah, they can't. Man.
Hey,
What's up, Juju?
I'm about to hop down, Drew.
Yeah.
But
I
before I
did
do,
not
everybody
know.
hit the like button. Share this with your
Tomorrow.
friends and family on social media, all of that. Shout out to you, Rob, and your battle through depression.
Do you have a
all of that.
channel, Rob? Do you have
He
a channel?
does. He does have a channel.
Yeah.
Shout out to that.
Okay.
Burks.
Guys, battle
Shout out to y'all.
cry.
I'm out of
Okay.
here
I've
though,
actually watched
Johnny.
it. It's not
All
bad.
right, man.
It's not a bad
I'll check
channel.
y'all out.
It's pretty good.
All right. I'm gonna
Buckeyes
take a
battle cry.
look.
Yeah.
Got you. You
But
got anything else?
I think on talent alone, Ohio State wins
Wow.
10 of their game, 9 to 10 out, like, so 10 games, and the other like 2 or so 9 to 10 games. I think the other 2 or 3, it's going to come down to coaching and that's an execution. Like the 3 potential losses for Ohio State this season: Michigan, Texas, and Penn State. Now, my wife and I, we will be at that Penn State Ohio State game. She's a Penn State fan, so we have a yearly tradition where we go to the Ohio State Penn State game.
She a James Franklin
yeah, you
believer?
guys. Well, the
So Dan,
funny thing.
hold on, Rob. So you a UM grad, Ohio State
Yeah.
fan, and your wife is a Penn State. Oh my
Oh my
goodness!
God.
Wow.
Yeah, she
Jesus Christ.
she's from Pittsburgh. She was born and raised
Makes
Pittsburgh.
sense.
Oh, makes sense. Yep.
What about
she's
Illinois? Because they bringing back
she's a diehard
a third-year
Steelers
quarterback.
fan.
Me talking about Illinois.
I'd entertain that if I look at the roster, the stats, and just everything else. Like I'm a stats guy. If we ever do like a show where we're talking about who's gonna win a game, I'll come at you with all these stats and research that I did and give you my my position on who's gonna win this game and why. But just I think that's just a game just based on talent alone that Ohio State could win. I like that. That's just my position now. But I'm not a big believer in Brett Bielema.
Thank God.
The game, the Michigan versus Illinois game, I thought he was about to blow that game because Michigan was starting to get some momentum. Illinois wasn't really doing much with the ball. They were just looks like they were just playing to run the clock out. So it's just kind of like he always finds those ways to to blow the game. So not a firm believer in Brett Bielema at all.
We didn't have a quarterback, bro. This is that simple.
That's a fact.
We beat them with a quarterback. Illinois, Washington, like we have a first year OC, bro. First year starting quarterback, bro. It's the system. The system just wasn't good, bro. Like Kirk Campbell's a terrorist.
He said he's a terrorist.
Yeah, bro.
Never heard that one. Never heard that one before. But
yeah,
how would you feel if Ryan Day he had the coaching a big house maze out game, Ryan Day, and the last time that James Franklin that he had to deal with that, his team was lost by 30 points, and that was in the 2022 game. But they ran 418 yards on the ground.
But all right, you guys, thank you, Johnny, for having me up here. Glad we could talk football. Gonna start calling more. But yeah, again, thanks for having me on here. You guys have a blessed Sunday.
I appreciate
it, Rob. My brother. Thank you, man. Thank you for opening up. We appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, you guys. All right, later.
That was Rob with Buckeye Battle Cry. I'm gonna do some more stuff with them, and it ain't easy to get online and open up about things that you're battling. Even to say that you're a Michigan grad and that you rock with Ohio State, that's wild. But the fact that he was dealing with depression and all that stuff and moved past it, that ain't easy to get on here and say. So shout out to him, for just speaking about his journey. Even though he's an Ohio State fan, I mean, we ain't gonna kill him for that too much. But what up, Juju?
It ain't shit, bro. Just hopped on. Just got up from a nap, bro. It's a real lazy Sunday, man.
Man, what you said?
What y'all on? What y'all speak about like the whole show? I missed it, bro. That's on me.
We kind of got sidetracked from what we was talking about, with him coming on talking about how he Ohio State and how he became an Ohio State fan, even though he went to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we left off. We were talking about the offense and the offensive line having to jail. And if we don't know what the offense will be until we know the offensive line can pass block and run block.
Well, I mean, automatically from last year, the biggest thing for me was it seems like we have an idea this year, and there's not really. I mean, there's going to be new faces added to that room, like Hatter. Obviously, Brady Norton is added, but it seems like everything's pretty set in stone. And right now, I mean, they're already coming out and saying we got 8 to 9 guys right now. So I like that. I'm not gonna lie, I like that because last year they were scattered and switching positions, and I like Evan Link going back to left tackle because that's his original position. Like, yeah, I like El Hadi going back to left tackle left guard because that's his original decision. Now, will he start? I don't know. I have no idea. As this man just slides his way into the show, Lil Garrison over here. I see you down there, bro. I see you over there, bro. Yeah, as he slides his way into the show as I'm talking ball, but always on time. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think Hatter is gonna I think he might kick either Phoebe or a Hadi, and that's gonna be tough.
You seen those Penn State offensive linemen go in the portal? Well, they're gonna go in the portal. They got 2 starters.
Are they graduates?
Well,
if they ain't graduates, we ain't getting them, bro. We ain't getting them, bro.
And that's the thing about Michigan. But one of them is like one of them is an All-American last year. The other one, he's been around. I think he transferred to Penn State, so he's probably a graduate at this point.
There's another Ferris kid who was all conference that just jumped in.
Yeah, we got to get a couple, at least a couple, but they got to be veterans.
And that's what I just said. He came and then he left. So we lose a lineman, a veteran. I'm pretty sure Michigan is going to go for at least another lineman in the portal.
I mean, I think about 15 players still have to drop. I mean, our roster's at like 117 right now, I'm pretty sure. So,
but we have that linebacker is transferring. Yeah. We have there's a couple of players that opted to transfer.
Yeah, I mean, that's people are gonna go, bro. He wasn't never gonna see the field anyway.
Amari Hall.
Yeah, some of these dudes, they're not gonna see the field. It's not a what's the linebacker transferred the other day?
Yeah, he was going.
I never saw him. I didn't know nothing about him.
He was buried. I mean, bro. I mean, Cole Sullivan is emerging, bro. So I mean, it's just anything on the two. Like it's gonna be Barham, it's gonna be Ernest, and I think Cole. I think he kicks him as well. So I think he moves to third on the list.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy Rolder is in there too.
Yeah, so you don't like Rolder? I have no idea what Ty Bulls is going or whatever. I said Ty Bulls, Troy Bulls.
Because he's not even on campus yet.
Yeah, I have no idea, which sucks. I mean, shit, even for our freshmen that are coming in, like what I'm blanking. Oh boy, the tackle we picked up. Recruiting was signed with Bama. I'm blanking.
Hey Juju.
Yo.
Quick question. I saw Moose kind of say this too. If a guy can't play right tackle, why would you trust him to protect your quarterback?
I mean, he had it, bro. You're preaching to the choir. He did not have a good full season, but the last 3 games.
Left tackle?
Huh?
Why don't you put Sprague there?
That's what I originally said. I want Sprague there. I wanted him there, but Evan Link, the last 3 games of the season, played lights out. I can't argue with something when he progressed.
He did. You talking about Evan Link can't block?
Yeah, the last 3.
I think he's completely garbage. I think he's complete garbage.
No, so if he was complete garbage, your veterans, your 5-star veterans, would have ate him up in the Michigan game. That didn't happen. And Alabama starters
would have ate him up in that bowl game, and it didn't happen.
He played well.
He's
Maniac. Can I ask you a question, bro? So, like, if you let's say you take 13 tests, okay? On 13 tests, you get an E. But I'm sorry, on 10 of those tests, you get an E. But on 2 of those tests, you get an A. You pass or fail the class still.
No, I understand what you're saying, Gary.
no. He's no. You got to remember, it's not how you start, bro. It's how you finish. They threw him in the Wolves. He wasn't ready. They just threw him in there. And yes, he struggled early. We know that. All Michigan fans. So now he's garbage because he ended the season doing good. No, it's remember, the season is a marathon. It's not a sprint, bro. It doesn't look. Actually, no. Perfect example. Your listen. Your defensive ends. Hold on. Your defensive ends were mid the whole season. Hold on. And then when playoff came, Sawyer and JT Cook. Yes or no?
Bro,
so they did that same example. They failed the test the whole season, and then they made it.
You can't ask me a question and talk over me, bro. Let me think. Let me get in here, bro. My God.
But as you, I'm telling you, you're calling Evan Link trash, and I'm telling you, how's he trash if he ended the season good?
Bro, like I'm gonna be honest with you, Maniac. I'm not here to argue. I don't care.
I'm not here to argue, but you do this all the time. You throw shots at Michigan players, and then you act innocent, like, oh, I'm just asking a question, and I'm answering it. But you don't like, no. I'm passionate. I'm not arguing. I'm passionate, and you don't like that. No, bro, I'm not going. You want me to be like, go ahead, Garrison. No.
Go, Garrison, explain,
I'm not
bro.
trying to talk over
Just explain.
bro. I'm really not in the mood today. Bro,
I'm not in the mood all the time, but I deal with your shit anyway.
Moose literally just
gotta let him finish. Let him talk now.
My God, bro. Moose literally said he was bad too. It's not just like sometimes, like I like me and Johnny have talked about this. We have to stop always thinking that just because someone else is an Ohio State or a Michigan fan, that we're simply saying that because we're a fan or a rival of the other one. Bro, and you said it was the beginning of the season. That's not true. Evan Link throughout the season was not good until the last 2 games of the season. You brought up Jack Sawyer, you brought up JTT. I can agree with you because I have said it before that throughout the season they are not the greatest pass rushers because they're not bendy guys. They're like kind of like Rashawn Gary.
Bull rushing.
They are oversized defensive ends.
Yeah.
But what can't be forgotten is that JTT and Jack Sawyer were two of the highest quarterback pressure rates, and they were 2 of the highest rated run defenders on the edge. So they showed like they are good at something. Evan Link last season, outside of 2 games, remember we're talking about and look, I played this game at the collegiate level. Just because you played 2 good games, bro, does not mean you had a good season. That's not how football works.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's saying that though.
No, who said he had a good season? I said he finished strong. All right, Garrison. So let me ask you this, right? Let me not. I don't want to hurt your feelings. So Garrison, let me ask you this question: if every player in the history of college, when they first started, did they all just ball out from the beginning? I'm just answering me yes or no. Okay, so you can't. We only saw a sample size of Evan Link. This season can really give us a more in-depth look. Now, you know what? If he fucks up this season, I'll be the first one to tell you, Garrison, yo, you know what? You're right. He was trash. I don't have no problem saying that. I absolutely don't. But my issue with you is that you take shots at Michigan players, and you do it in a way where you're not.
I call Ohio State players trash. What are you talking about?
Who's trash? I never heard you call an Ohio State fan trash.
I like this. Go ahead, I like this list.
Whoa, I got you. Cam Martinez, Cam Brown.
Yo, Garrison.
No.
Who can't? He was played for Michigan too.
Juju. Did he not just ask me to name players that Ohio players I call trash? Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, is that your own list?
All right. So let me name them. I said Cam Martinez, Cam Brown. Who has a lot I can name, bro. what's his name? Master Teague. Like, bro, there are Ohio State players that I have called trash. Like, you can watch my show and go and see that I've called people trash. For 2 years now on Scarlet and Blue show, I've called Ohio State players trash. So again, you keep again, I'm gonna say it again for you. We have to stop thinking that just because we say something about another team's a player on another team that's a rival,
why stop
you
there,
can't
bro?
just sit here and say I'm saying because it's rivalry banter, bro. I can pull up tweets, or I can pull a PFF score of Evan Link and show you Buddy was trash. Moose will tell you he is trash.
But based on it's a set, bro. It's all right. He struggled as a freshman. You act like he was a veteran that just can't, bro. Give him some time.
We didn't have any depth either, bro.
Remember, listen. Us Michigan fans.
I'm very comfortable in saying if Andrew Sprague played last year, I'm very comfortable in saying he wouldn't have played like that. I'm very.
Let me ask you this. All right.
You very well
remember,
right.
Michigan fans. Michigan fans. We remember John Runyon Jr. At one point, they wanted to throw him out of Ann Arbor. And guess what? He stepped it up. Now he's a starter in the NFL. Bro, you got to give players time, bro. A freshman season on a couple of games on a bad offense to say, oh, he trash. Yeah, to me, you know what? You entitled to opinion, champ. You want to call him trash? No. You want to call him trash? Go ahead.
I'm not just talking to you.
Johnny, you killing me, bro.
I'll give you a player that Ohio State fans hate that I say that. Ohio State fans hate that I say that. I think J.T. Barrett is trash. Like, I will sit here and tell you who I think is trash, bro.
Wait, he was short, right? Is that what you said?
He's trash. The dude sucks.
Oh, he was short?
He's a trust fund baby. He had everyone. He had everything around him.
Hey, what about Garrison? What about Zach Harrison?
Trash.
Thank you.
Now he was trash. He was trash.
But Juju, that's my problem right there. Like when we sit here and say, "Oh, Garrison's saying this because he's a Buckeye."
Yeah, but you're using a bad example. No, because you're using veteran Zach. All right, how many seasons Zach Harris played?
W content.
How many seasons?
4.
All right, you don't want to answer that. You're taking a freshman based on getting thrown in the fire because he wasn't really ready. They just threw him in there, and he had to pretty much learn on the job. And yeah, he struggled, but in the biggest games of the season, he did good, bro. So to me, he's not trash. I gotta see more.
I just think it also.
What did he do good? All right, so what did he do good in the Ohio State game?
I think
look at it. He passed block good, and he sprung.
He passed block, bro. You passed the. You barely passed the ball in the game, which is what you guys. That's fine. Like I'm not just crediting.
I'm about to say throughout the whole season we barely.
And this isn't me. This isn't me talking about how the game went. I'm simply talking about why I think it's disingenuous to sit here and say that he had a good game in that.
So Will Howard is trash. Will Howard is trash. He was just around the right players. He's another trust fund baby. You want to call JT Barrett that?
If you believe,
yeah, exactly. He's a bum. Will Howard's a bum. He's gonna work in Taco Bell in 2 years. Fucking bum.
JT Barrett's not as good as Will Howard.
Oh,
what are you talking about?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm sorry. Did JT Barrett throw 73%? No. What are you talking about? So, and I've never seen Will Howard go like. I think JT had a game when he was like 6 for 20. Like, bro, stop.
Yeah, he's a bit inconsistent.
Like, bro, like, if you're gonna talk Ohio State football, I know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. I watch your bum ass school closely. Will Howard's a bum.
I'm not
out of here. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I watch Ohio. You just started watching college football.
Look, bro,
you like 28, bro. I've been watching. I saw when your bum ass Mike Vrabel got ran over by Tim Biakabutuka, 313 yards. Say something.
The only thing I'm gonna say is I'm trying to turn a new leaf, bro. I can care less to even talk like that.
I don't care what you care about. I'm telling you facts. I'm telling you history.
I thought
I'm simply here to talk football, bro. I'm not here to do all that.
It is football. Listen. You don't get away. You don't get away with that with me. I will never let you get away with that. You come in here on the Michigan channel and you want to make it about the Buckeyes, and then
I'm on Johnny's channel.
Listen, bro, I know how you operate.
No, I'm not operating anyway. I'm simply here.
Yes, you are.
I'm keeping
You
my
an
voice on my arm.
antagonizer. You antagonize.
Right now,
You throw shots and be like, and then you run to Johnny. You say Johnny, but no, this is between me and you. Leave Johnny out of this.
What shot did I throw? Bro?
I do have a question.
Bro, I just told you, Everlink is trash. Based on what?
Juju, is that?
So
is
Will
that
Howard, listen.
Juju,
Stop calling people names. There you go. That was Juju. Stop calling people's names. It's me and you. Stop calling people's names.
You gotta let him talk.
All right. You know what? Go ahead. No, Johnny. Go ahead, bro. Let him manipulate it because that's what Garrettson likes. He likes to be in control. And if he's not in control, he gets in his little feelings and he's there pouting like a spoiled little kid. Come on, man. Enjoy your rest of your Sunday. Go ahead. Take over the show, man. I'm tired of hearing you cry.
All right, baby.
Wait, I did have a question, and I have Garrison here too. Do you think on the link thing, because that's where it exploded? I've been waiting on this question for like 10 minutes.
I'm sorry, I just don't have time anymore, bro. Like I literally decided a few days ago that I'm not gonna sit here and like jibber jabber yell at dudes. I'm not gonna sit here and have disingenuous conversations saying like bum ass program, bum ass team. I literally called Evan Link trash after even acknowledging that Ohio State players are trash, and after even acknowledging there are Michigan fans that called Evan Link trash. Johnny, did Michigan fans call Evan Link trash throughout the season?
Yeah. I mean, he was.
So, and that's my problem. I go and say it. Now we want to sit here and get mad because I sat here and said something that everyone else said in your fan base. Man, stop! Like I'm not here to do that childish shit.
Well, like
really not.
to add on to that in a different light, you know, it was surrounded by a one-dimensional offense, right? And you did have a freshman going out there, which we did. And you said he was, which he was, bro. I mean, I've never seen a PFF grade of 0. I mean, it's pretty bad.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. So, why you get mad? Why are we getting mad? I'm literally regurgitating something that Michigan fans say and that PFF you can see. Like, what are we talking about?
No, I get it, but I get that. My question to you is, now with a real OC, an experienced OC, you got one more year under your belt. Everyone on that line has experience. I think, yeah, Sprague has a little experience, but he's more talented than Link.
Yes. Dog. He's a dog.
Yeah, he is. I wanted him at left tackle, but it is what it is. I think the jump for the offensive line is going to be very noticeable, especially in an offense where now you have to respect both, because there's no way, bro. Our quarterback room and the ceiling and floor is higher. It's just raised. So I don't see him getting worse, but I guess how much better is the question. And I think he's the worst out of everyone on the line. You know, even though we don't know who right guard is. I think Afobe will be better. I think he's going to be fine right there.
Bro, like, I actually had a talk with some other. Actually, it was like I had Buckeye fans arguing with me about this because I was saying to them that I told them because I had you guys going 9-3 this upcoming season, right? And I had a Michigan Ohio State fan say, "What? Like what?" Like he said, like, bro, 8-4 or worse. And I said, bro, like the defense is still going to be good. The offensive line is going to be better, I believe. The quarterback situation is better. Wide receiver is wide receiver to me. Tight end, you probably take a slight drop back. And then you're talking running backs. I think as a tandem, no. The running backs are just better. I'm like, bro, if you're telling me that the quarterback, O-line, and running back are better, and the defense is going to be the defense, like I don't know. Like, I think you guys would be 9-3, 10-2, like knocking on the door to go to the playoffs. So.
I had to tell him too, yeah. So we can get him. I don't think he spoke yet.
What you got, Dom?
Johnny, how you doing? Garrison?
What's going on? How you doing, Dom?
I'm doing good. I just been sitting back watching here, and I was like, Johnny, you know, it's Sunday. You know, I paid for admission. Where's the fireworks? And then want to tip the hat there to Maniac for giving a little spark. It's always
man, W content, bro.
Always funny to watch Garrison and Maniac mix it up a little bit.
Oh, this ain't the first time.
I'm not mixing up anything. I'm here relaxing.
You know what I really think that's being overlooked, Johnny. We've talked about this in the past. Is head coach Moore has not had the peripheral things that he was dealing with last year, trying to find coaches and such, and timing and everything. This year, I mean, the coaching staff being set, especially Wink, who
Yeah,
adjusted, last year. I think you're going to see a much different Michigan team coming out this year. And I'm not even getting into the quarterbacks as much as the offensive line, because Moore is not going to tolerate the way they opened the season last year.
that's why he hired Juan
Junction,
Castillo.
you listen to the trash that's being talked about. Link, I seen an interview with El Hadi. Those guys took it pretty hard, especially after the previous 3 seasons of the output that the offensive line had. So I'm just saying, with Moore not having those external distractions, if you will, in conjunction with returning players who really heard a lot last year about their underperformance, lack of organization, lack of gelling. I think those 2 factors right there, you're going to see a much more improved offensive line. And the bonus is a lot of players on the defense are coming back. Winks traded to the college game. And lastly, both sides of the ball, there's a lot of talent coming back that went through last year with the losses that are tired of hearing that. And I think we're going to see a more cohesive, gelled, whatever the word is, for the Michigan team this year. Bryce and Jalen Davis, the
Man, y'all are hell, bro.
it really doesn't really matter in terms of the offensive quarterback here. We cannot digress from what we had last year, and I'm not singling out one of the many that played. So when you have the 129th offense last year do what they did, and some of the games we lost, well, maybe we could have won if this, that, the cow jumped over the moon.
Yeah.
I just think as a whole, and thank you for the time and having me, that head coach Moore not having the distractions that he had last year,
I agree.
all the spots he needed to fill, that being absent and the focus being on football in conjunction with the players coming back from last year, I think you're going to have a much more focused, is the word, Michigan team this year. Whether they, lose 2 games, 3 games, we will see. I think the road game in Oklahoma, whether we win or lose, Bryce needs to start that game, needs to be involved and be exposed to the big stage. Probably a night game, I don't know. Win or lose, that's going to pay dividends down the road. And lastly, Garrison, a lot of these Ohio State fans, they don't realize the drop off from losing an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, starting talent, starting quarterback. A lot of us last year, Michigan, were delusional. We thought, we were going to go undefeated or lose 1 or 2 games, and obviously that didn't happen. And I think Ohio State's in for a rude awakening this year. I see 4 games, but of the 4, the one in Ann Arbor, Ohio State loses by 17 points. You heard it here first.
Can I ask you a question, Dom?
Sure.
Do you think Ohio State's in the same position talent-wise that you guys were last season?
I can't comment on the talent.
I don't.
Garrison, because I don't know Ohio State.
All right.
To that degree.
Do you think there's a chance that Ohio State will have a walk-on quarterback ever in the quarterback race?
No.
Do you think we'll ever have an Alex Orgy in the quarterback race?
No, but
do you think that we'll ever be in a position where
you put respect on my linebacker, bro?
I don't don't get me wrong, I do understand, Dom, that they're like in the first few games, especially starting off first week with Texas. Thankfully, we had that game at home, but there's gonna be Brian's gonna have to have a learning, he's gonna have to learn some, take some chops, man. He's gonna have to do that in the beginning of the season. When it comes to Matt Patricia, he's gonna have to get adjusted to the college game. In the spring, you're going against the same thing every day.
I think it's Brian Hartline more than anything.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I have more. I trust Patricia with the defense. Brian Hartline is gonna have to be the one to learn, which is why I was really happy during the spring game. Ryan Day never had the headset on. Not 1 second that game to get the headset on. It was strictly It's kind of like I've been like comparing it to the movie 300 when Leonidas is a child, he gets thrown into the wilderness. That's why I say for Brian Hartline, bro. Like he did not put that headset on, and you called the plays, you handled this. But I just think that it's to expect Ohio State to have a 4 or 5 loss season or even 3. Like there have been a lot of seasons, my friend, where Ohio State possibly could have had 3 losses, but for some odd reason, it just doesn't happen.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and predominantly you're looking at the 2000s forward to 2024. But
I'm not discussing that. I'm talking about like since 2000, Ohio State has only had 2 seasons where they've had 9 or less than 10 wins. It's only been twice.
This year, Matt Patricia, I'm not going to take anything away from his game intellect or to scheme it up defensively. I believe that Matt Patricia is going to have some of the same growing pains that Wink had.
I agree.
I say that. The reason why I say that is when you're taking an NFL head defensive coordinator and bringing him to college, okay? They're used to dealing with men that are getting, and it's a different game in college now, but they're used to dealing with men that realize that if I don't know the playbook, if I'm not prepared, I'm going to lose a paycheck. Yep. And it's a different level of maturity. And I think that's going to be a little bit of a problem for Patricia to adjust to. He will, just like Wink did. And if that means dumbing down the defense a little bit, I think that cohesion will come into play. And I think that right there is going to be the problem against Texas. That's such a big deal.
With Sark
coming in, playing a team that you beat in the playoffs last year. And granted, they lost some talent, but you have players coming back. You have Sarkisian. He's not a bonehead. He's a good coach. He just made some bad calls. But nonetheless, that challenge early on, I think that's going to be the problem for Ohio State. And I say 4 games because that stretch, you have the bye week before you go to Washington. You come back, you have Minnesota at home, at Illinois, at Wisconsin. You got a bye week, and then you play Penn State, and then
and they play them off a bye week.
So I say Texas, Illinois.
Penn State has a bye week too that week. Yeah.
Okay.
Penn State, and then the Michigan game you lose by 17.
You think Ohio State's going to lose 2 big games at home?
I think Ohio State. I think Ohio State loses
2020. No, that wasn't 2021. Go ahead.
I think they lose.
So Dom, this is why
I think they go 10-2
now. This is my new thing for anyone that tells me that they think Texas is going to beat Ohio State. Tell me what Texas has.
I agree with you. They lost a lot of talent, but
no, I mean, tell me who on their team you know.
One thing I do know is they have Manning coming back. Okay, that's the one thing I do know. Speak about
you need
Texas,
linemen, don't you? You need linemen, don't you? I mean, they lost 4. It was a top 5 offensive.
Yeah, they were veteran. They had a veteran
line. Their top 5. They lost 4 of their top 5 linemen. Lost their secondary, and then I think people forgetting this. Like I understand, like because Dom, you are right. You come off the loss in the playoffs, so you have tape of seeing what Ohio State looks like. Last year, Texas tried to run the Michigan playbook on defense verbatim. That's what they tried to do, and they still got beat.
It worked. Let's be real.
Bro, they were one mistake away from that being game like real tight.
I mean,
y'all scored what 28 with y'all scored 21.
21. I'll say 21 offensive, but I mean it worked to a point.
That's
good.
We
know that before halftime touchdown was the dumbest call.
Wait. I'm not gonna let you get that off, Johnny, because I've literally heard you say, Johnny, about how when I bring up our game and I say, well, our defense did this, our defense did that, and I always get met by this from Michigan fans. Well, but what happened? How did it end? That's why I'm gonna stay with this.
No, y'all won.
Like what I'm saying is they defense kept them in the game. That's a fact.
Yeah, they started rocky and they finished. I mean, the second half, but the offense, you guys' defense played.
My main point is this: we've seen what their defense looks like now, and they've lost their whole secondary. So, right. And again, the game is in the shoe, and I think it's a lot to I do believe right now I have Ohio State at 10-2, Dom. I just think it's asking a lot for Ohio.
Wait. Who are the losses?
I think there's only three. I think there's only 3 possible games we lose, maybe 4, and it all depends. I would say you guys are a tough game. Of course, Texas, Illinois, and Penn State. But I think it's expecting a lot for Ohio State to lose to Texas and Penn State at home.
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna lose. I thought the 2 losses would be us and Penn State. That's what I
don't put it past y'all. I don't think y'all would just lose, but I don't put it past that. Like saying when was the last time? That means that time is coming sometime. Just like y'all used to do. You'll never win in the shoe. Now can we lose in the shoe? These things don't stay the same forever, but saying what Texas lost, y'all lost just as much, if not more.
Yeah.
You starting quarterback, you lost some linemen, you lost some Buka, you lost.
I want to talk about the defensive line because they're losing that.
Lathan Ransom, Cody Simon, Denzel Burke, Ty Leak, JTT.
You talked about our O. You talked about our O line, but
their interior is going to be good.
We brought back our interior O line is probably going to be one of the top 3 in the nation, if not the best in the nation. And our O line is going to be a top 10 offensive line. It's the offensive line is not going to be worried. Anyone that thinks our offensive line is going to be worried hasn't paid attention to what Ohio State's doing.
I don't think I don't think that offensive line is going to get very. I mean, Penn State's defensive line, our defensive line. I don't think Texas's defensive line will be on that level. I think those are the only 2 games that offensive line will be like in a dogfight with.
That's the only time our O line is going to be challenged this season. Only time.
Garrison, for Penn State to come in and beat Ohio State and Columbus, to beat Ohio State in general, given James Franklin.
God, bro, I fucking can't stand him.
You never can discount that, okay? And if they didn't get Knowles, I would be saying Ohio State all day, even if Ohio State was playing their 3rd stringers against Penn State, because they're in Franklin's head. And there's been games that he's just outright blown against Ohio State. The last time they were in Columbus, if I'm recalling correctly.
Dom.
There was 7.5 minutes to go in the game.
Dom,
it was 4th down. He had the ball. That Penn State had the ball on their side of the field. He went for it. And I'm like, what are you going for it? Punt the ball. And Ohio State scored a touchdown. They ended up winning the game.
Dude is so dumb, bro.
Wait, Dom, you talking about in 2023?
I believe that was the year.
Yeah,
yes.
the reason he had to do that was because it took Penn State in 2023. They didn't get a first down or get to the red zone until 5 seconds left in the game. It took 5 seconds left in the game.
But you don't. If you're in Columbus, you do not give Ohio State the ball, who's losing the game with 7.5 to go on the clock, with 40 yards to get to a touchdown. You just don't do that. I mean,
you're right.
You're right. But I think with Knowles being there, that's the difference. If they didn't have Knowles, I wouldn't say that Penn State would beat Ohio State, especially in Columbus. The Illinois game, that's a reach. The only reason I picked Illinois is because you're coming off that road game against Boston, right? And then you're playing Minnesota. You're going to beat Minnesota, but
that's going to be a tough game. Minnesota's going to be a tough team this year.
So then that leaves Illinois or Wisconsin, and I just picked Illinois over Wisconsin because I don't think Fickle's there yet, and I don't know if he's really the guy for Wisconsin. It's early in his tenure there, so that's why I went
he's
with
trash.
Bielema.
I'm just calling him, bro. He's trash.
That's why I went with Bielema in Illinois, Penn State because of Knowles, and then the Michigan game in Ann Arbor. Wink settled in. The defense is solid this year. The question's quarterback, right? But the thing is, last year we were the 129th offense. So if the defense could replicate or be close, and there's a lot of reasons why us as Michigan fans believe it'll be a good defense again, regardless of the loss of Grant and Graham and some of the other players. I think that right there, in conjunction with nobody's talking about is Haynes and Jordan Marshall, our running back. I think Jordan Marshall is one of the best running backs in the nation. Why we beat Ohio State.
Jordan
Okay,
Marshall
what
is one
I
of the best running backs in the nation.
yeah, I want to go back to Don's Franklin point and with the whole Penn State. I get the nose higher, and it's a good one. He's one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. I'll give him that. But the championship window, I think, is now for Penn State. And if
This
you remember,
year for sure.
yeah, if you remember correctly, it took Jim Knowles a couple years at Ohio State. So I don't personally see it because the first year, you look back at the first year with him at OSU. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can do it on your own time about that. His first time. So I think his defense and his
they were number 18th. I think they were top. So our first season with Knowles, it's the same thing at Oklahoma State. You would see, but it's a progression. The first year we were top 20. The next year we were top. Well, no, we were top 3 the next year. Then but it was a progression. It was a progression to get to where we were.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what I'm saying. The time is now. I don't think a top 20 defense gets it done. Their offense isn't that special.
No,
they don't have the
and
receivers
you know what,
to
though?
beat us, bro.
The thing is, it's Noel knows Ryan Day. He knows the tendencies, and you guys could talk about
that is true.
Line calling plays during a televised practice is essentially what it is. But he's been there for 9 years, and he finally got the offensive coordinator position. There's reason for that. And
you said 9 years.
Hasn't Hartline been there 9 years on the Ohio State staff?
How long is he? I think it was 6. I thought.
I might be mistaken. I just know he's been there
got
for
there.
a bit.
No, he. So what? Zach Smith left in 2018. So he's been there since 8. So that's
like 6, 7 years.
But I mean,
he's been there for a bit.
Yeah,
but
but
look,
at the time, but you gotta understand, like Ryan Day, this offense is his baby. So it's really hard for him to give it away. Like it's not. This is the first. Like this is outside of last year. I don't think Ryan Day's ever really given up this play calling. So,
he has to, man.
Ryan
Day.
No,
this year he is.
Has a massive ego. Okay. I don't like
agree.
Ryan Day.
I actually agree.
I don't like Ryan Day. I don't respect Ryan Day. I respected Urban Meyer.
Why don't you respect? Why don't you respect?
Let me finish.
How do you respect Urban Meyer, who's a douchebag, but not?
Let me finish.
Urban's a dick.
Let me finish, okay? I respected Earl Bruce. I respected Tressel, and I respected Urban Meyer. Okay, I don't respect Ryan Day because this is the sole reason why I don't respect Ryan.
Okay.
Every time they've lost a game they should have won,
I know where he's going.
He never says it's my fault. I didn't have the team prepared. Never. It's always somebody else, and it's that little thing right there.
Not true.
That
That's
makes me
true.
not respect. I'm not taking anything away from his ability.
After the Michigan game this season, he literally put it on himself. After the Michigan game this year, he literally put it on himself.
I thought.
What more can you do at that point? If you don't, if you say it's not on you.
So, do you mean you don't respect Ryan Day as a coach?
You know, he needs to.
I think it's saying a lot to say, like, dude, to say you respect Urban, but not the guy who gives millions of dollars for mental health institutions, for the guy who went through having his father unaliving himself and him having to go through that. Like the guy who literally had to work himself from the bottom. Urban started at a different point than Ryan. Like Ryan Day got this out the dirt.
Oh no!
Out the dirt, Garrison?
No. So wait. Do you understand?
What are we saying the dirt is?
Wait. I'm about to tell you. Ryan Day isn't one of these guys who played big time college football, who had all these big time college football connections, who was able to start at a D1 institution.
You mean his come up?
Yeah, bro. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like for instance, and this isn't like to come at him because there's a lot of coaches. Like there's some coaches who are fortunate to do this, and I respect Sherrone Moore as a coach and as a person. But like take like Sherrone Moore for instance, he comes from Oklahoma. He's the Oklahoma Sooner, one of the greatest programs of all time. His first job was as a grad assistant at Oklahoma. Ryan Day, bro, we're talking about a guy who went to a one AA school, had to stay there. Worked himself up. Bro, he didn't get a coordinator's job until Ohio State.
Was it Massachusetts, by the way?
Yeah, Massachusetts. So for me, bro, like
him and Don Brown at UMass.
Yeah, bro. Like, so when we talk about like like guys that respect, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand when we talk about like whether you respect some guy as a coach. If you don't respect Ryan Day as a coach because of him, whether you like say he's blaming things on other people, not himself, I can respect that. I can understand that because that's your opinion. But when we talk about respecting the dude, bro, I think it's wild to say you respect Urban Meyer of all people as a person over Ryan Day. Like Urban.
Wait.
I call Urban Meyer a douchebag, but he's
that
my douchebag.
Urban Meyer, solely respect-wise, his win-loss percentage from when he started Bowling Green to where he finished, and personally, I really don't like Urban Meyer, but I respect him for his consistent winning productions. Ryan Day
doesn't win.
Him. He stepped into a fully set up program, and yet he still has failed. And like I said, he's just never.
How has he failed?
Dom, what type of winning are you talking about?
Wait, when do we start calling national champions failures? When do we start doing that?
I didn't say it was a failure winning it.
You just said he failed.
No, what I'm saying is, let me clarify. I respect Urban Meyer because he's been consistently a winner wherever he coached, consistently. And it's not like just breaking 500. It's beyond that. Plus, he beat Michigan 7 years in a row right there. Okay.
Do you think if Urban Meyer played the 21, 22, 23 teams, he would have gone undefeated?
No.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows? They would have been way tougher. We know that.
They would have been able to run the ball. That's for damn sure. They would have been able to run the ball. Ryan Day, to me, just like I said, nothing against his intellect. He came into a program that was set up. All he needed to do was put fuel in the tank, and he still managed to mess it up. Anyway, I'm not going to go on. I just don't like the guy, and there's really nothing you could tell me to change my mind.
I'm past that, Dom. I'm past that. I that's fine. That's fine. Well, I was thinking all right. So and this is I'm gonna give you this from a Buckeyes fan perspective, Dom. Right, when it comes to the Urban Meyer era, I think a lot of people forget that Urban Meyer won that national championship right in his second year.
Third year. Third year. They had 2 years probation, did they not? I mean,
he came. No, the first year he went 12-0. The next year he won the national championship. Urban Meyer was at Ohio State for 7 years. He won the conference 3 times.
Yeah, that is insane.
We talk about his winning, Ryan Day. It took 6 years for Ryan Day to find, and sadly, it was you guys. But it took 6 years for him to lose to an unranked team, and he lost by 3. I saw Urban Meyer get smoked by Purdue and Iowa. I saw.
What was his bro name? That Moore legacy game.
Rondell Moore. I saw Ryan. I saw Urban Meyer the year after winning a national championship. I saw him go against Michigan State and stupidly give Zeke Elliott the ball 12 times because he was so hell-bent on giving JT the Bear, trying to get JT Barrett the Heisman race. I saw him go into a playoff and lose 31-0.
Yeah, that was
31-0. Mind you, in 2018, Ohio State under Urban Meyer had the worst defense in 50 years at Ohio State. The next season, in come Ryan Day. Somehow that went to number 1 in the nation. But mind you, we had everyone says we had everyone says he was handed the keys to a Ferrari. A Ferrari doesn't have one of the worst defenses in the Big Ten. A Ferrari doesn't have Tate Martell and some German dude in the quarterback room. If Ryan Day never came, Tate Martell was going to be the quarterback, not Justin Fields. People forget that, and the truth of the matter is, if you ask Ohio State fans today, yes, the Michigan Ryan Day has a Michigan problem. We cannot set that aside. We know that. But the program is in a better position than we were in the last few years of Urban Meyer. From the time Urban Meyer won that national championship, it went downhill. Now it didn't fall off the cliff, but it went downhill. At the end, at the end of the day, mind you, this Urban Meyer was already an established champion. This was Ryan Day's first head coach job ever.
Well, the thing with Ryan Day, okay, Ohio State's running attack has been suspect now for a handful of years. The offensive line has been in question, and that's the reality why Michigan has beaten Ohio State the number of years, because it's been old school running the football and keeping the Ohio State offense on the sideline.
Burks, bro, Jesus Christ.
We talked about that before, Garrison. If you let Ohio State come out and run through the revolving door of touchdowns, you're going to be down 21 points before the first quarter is even over. You stop that by being able to run the ball, burn the clock, and playing good defense.
I don't believe that. I don't believe
that. But my point is,
what don't
run
you believe?
Game has not been what it's been in the past, either under Urban or under Tressel. Okay, and his reluctance, his stubbornness to address it, it's ego, man. It's like you guys have, outstanding wide receivers year after year after
year. That's
year.
actually ridiculous how many they get.
And yet you guys have had talented running backs. And then he doesn't address the line play. He doesn't focus on the running game. And then he wants to get into these games and run the football. It's like, I don't understand that. And I just, like I said, I don't like Ryan Day.
I know you don't like Ryan Day, but when we talk about Ohio State, right? And shout out to my guy Michigan X12 on X, because he said this, like the whole soft. He said he as a Michigan fan, he said the whole soft thing is delusional because Ohio State nor Michigan is soft. It's just different ways of playing the game. A lot of teams play the game in a different way.
Yeah,
I have no problem with Ryan Day being the pass guru he is, the quarterback guru he is, and passing the ball to set up the run. Like Juju, when I said I don't believe that, I was talking about I don't think you have to win the rushing battle to win the game. I don't believe that. I think last year Ohio State
that's happened too many times to say.
That's over 20 years now.
The point it becomes a fact though, Garrison.
But I don't. I truly
know what he's
Ohio
saying.
Ohio State didn't have to win. Listen, Ohio State should have spread the field out more, not running tight sets, and stop letting Wink bait him into running the ball up the middle. We didn't have to run the ball, the rushing battle, to win the game last year. In all reality, what we had to do was make some
what I said.
But that's what happened.
I'm saying we didn't have to win the rushing battle to win that game.
Yeah.
If anything, we had to make some field goals, to be honest with you. But we didn't have to win the rushing battle. We didn't have to. Dude, you get what I'm saying, bro? Like we didn't. We just won a national championship without.
That doesn't have to do. That's not the same as the game, though. These are two different things.
Bro, I don't care.
We know the game is special, bro. It's in its own way.
Do you? All right, Juju. Do you think Ohio State had to win the rushing battle last year to win that game?
Absolutely. I mean,
Michigan. Juju, do you think they had to?
Okay. So I'm gonna answer this, but I'm gonna ask you: do the games stay clean both ways?
Huh?
Like, take away the missed field goals from y'all. Take away us deliberately turning the ball over on downs and throwing the worst pass I've ever seen in my life. Because we were in the red zone 4 times.
I saw Calvin Court throw an interception that's worse than that.
No
way. Underthrown that bad.
When I really think about it.
Well, anyway, that's besides the point. If you take all of that out, then ask me the same question. You know what I'm saying? Because we were in the red zone 4 times. 4. Y'all were in the red zone and you missed opportunities, but so did we. That trash offense was in the red zone on the 5-yard line.
Well, dude, you gotta remember how your offense get in the red zone. It wasn't like you guys are driving the ball on every single drive. Like
I know, but I'm saying they were there and didn't convert.
I was trying to throw it and got intercepted.
I just think that if Ohio State, instead of running tight sets all game, we should have spread the ball. Like, bro, I saw when Jeremiah Smith on one drive got pass interfered twice. And we stopped going. I said, why did we stop doing that?
One of those was questionable. He pretty much just pushed
man.
him
That
down.
was 100% a PI, bro.
Like again, bro. I don't know. I just for me personally, I'm okay with like. I'm not gonna sit here and cry and moan about how my program wins a championship. Like cry and moan about when I saw my team win a championship. Like what?
The bottom line, Garrison, we could be here all day. And the losing to Michigan 13-10 really put a damper on that national title.
No. It does to you. To me, I don't give an F. I can care less.
You know what? That's fine, Garrison.
Like I wipe my ass for that loss. I wipe my ass.
Let's just say for the Ohio State fan base as a whole,
bro. I promise you, no Buckeye fan gives a damn about losing that game after that national championship. I promise you that. I promise
you. Can promise me that.
I mean, y'all, Michigan scored more than y'all, but statistically, y'all were better than us.
Thank you, Jackie Sawyer. Right? You know,
wait,
Garrett. Dom, I respect you, bro. But I'm gonna tell you, just like I tell in Juju sees me on X, he knows this. I don't care about that loss.
I'm not
at the end of the day. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go on Google, type in Ohio State 2025 national championship, get that picture of Tyleek Williams holding with his arm around Ryan Day, quote it, and put that over and leave it there. And then while every single Michigan fan on X puts 13-10, I'm gonna sit here eating popcorn, drinking a beer, watching a movie, laughing.
That
Garrison.
is you, Garrison, and that's not the illogical, arrogant, classless, poor sportsmanship, typical Ohio State fan base. And I know I lived in Columbus. I know the Ohio State profile. I mean, may I give an example of the lunacy of the Ohio State fan?
He doesn't get what I'm saying.
I have an example for you, okay? Let's go back to 2015. Okay, let's go back to 2015, and we're having Earl Bruce's way, okay? And you get these bozos from Ohio State, okay, that are like in their 60s that want to wear makeup and Halloween to the game, and then they want to take this persona.
Do you say the same thing? Wait, do you say the same thing for the Michigan people that do that? Do you say the same thing for the Michigan fans that say that do that, Dom?
Let me finish, please. You get Buckeye Man, okay? Buckeye Man. Okay.
What about the Michigan fans, Dom? Call them out.
All that, okay. My point, that fool.
Oh my God.
That fool went to Earl Bruce's wake in the full getup, okay, and then went in there and signed a board that was for the family, Earl Bruce's family, for past players, coaches.
How did we get here, bro?
That fool went in there and signed that board, dressed up like it was Halloween, and this is why I respect Urban Meyer. He had to throw him out of the wake. That right there, that craziness, the whole life, my emotional well-being hinges on the wins and losses of 18 to 21-year-old kids that play Ohio State football. And these guys are in their 60s and 70 years of age. It's absolutely crazy. For those people, not you, for those people, that's 13-10. It just sticks right up there. And they didn't win the Big Ten title. They lost to Michigan. They could have beat an NFL team for the national title.
Thankfully, Dom, it's 2025.
Game is.
It's 2025 now.
It ruined it for the 90% of your fan base. It ruined it. It ruined it for them.
You know what, man? And thankfully, it's 2025. And in 2025, I can promise you. Like, do I care about losing that game? Do I care about losing that game? You're damn right I do. But man, when I sit there and I see my boys throw up those 3 rings.
Garrison, I want to go back. I want to go back to the original where you talked about the whole rushing attack. Look, it is a fact over the last 20-something years. It's been there. But I do think with our offensive philosophy changing more and becoming more balanced, and a Chip Lindsey offense, you can go back and look at all his offenses. He's 3,000-yard passer and around 3,000 rushing. He's been very consistent. I do think, to answer your question, I do think you can win the game. passing. And just hear me out. Like
we
our scheme is predicated, and they bounce off another. The way we run the ball, that eats the clock, keeps our defense fresh. I don't know. That's what I don't know going forward is if we strike fast, you know what I'm saying, or we go a little more up tempo, which is rumored that it's more up tempo.
I hope y'all do.
That it would offset, you know what I'm saying? We've gone that for so long. Mind you,
excellent point.
Mind you, this year's defense is deeper than last year's. It's just not top talent heavy, but it is very deep. But that is what I'm interested in. So do I think it could change? Absolutely, because the star power at quarterback that we will have and the wide receivers are only going to get better. And scheme-wise, Chip Lindsey will get these wide receivers open. They were like 20% of the problem for me last year. OC and quarterback they share that shit for me. So to answer your question, I do think going forward, you can win a game in that between us doing that.
Well, the thing about it is it's still gonna go back to it. So let's say you throw for 300 or you throw for 250,
Right.
280, whatever. And you run for 80 and they only run for 50. It's still true. You know what I'm saying? Because if you win it, most of the time you're not gonna be able to run the ball. The team that's down is not gonna run it that well because they're trying to get back in the game or stay in the game.
Exactly. And, you know, as far as winning the game by passing, I mean, let's go back to those years where, you know, I thought it would be a challenging game and Don Brown just did not have the mindset on how to defend the slant route.
But they had our signals like every
Ohio
year.
State
The dude
up
never
like
changed his shit.
Points.
Well, I mean, Ryan Day used to tear him up in practice. That's why. But
like, why? Don Brown got to be the most stubborn DC I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
When you talk about your OC, right? About scheming guys open on the outside, are any of your guys route runners?
Fred Moore.
Fred
Moore.
No,
it's not.
He'll be Cornelius.
You didn't get to see him because he didn't get to display himself. Donovan McCoy gonna be a 50-50. We're not gonna see a lot of. I know a lot of people say what they want about Maj. I don't think we're gonna see him a lot because Chip Lindsey loves to put the tight end in the slot.
See who?
Yeah,
Samaj,
I said the same thing.
The guy that you hate for no reason.
I don't hate Samaj. I think it's weird that he has like a bad boy from Bloomfield.
Y'all hate him. Like, just be real.
I've never seen someone from Cranbrook act that hard except for on a movie. Samaj's parents have a real good marriage.
Look,
that's a whole. I'm glad that I touched on that, Garrison, because this is actually great. You know, Chip Lindsey's offense, bro. I think that could presume a lot. I mean, a lot of issues for Matt Patricia because he gives up so much to the tight ends over the middle. I think that's a huge problem.
So,
you seen did you watch our spring game?
Yeah, I watched the starting quarterback. I didn't really care about anyone else.
Yeah, Max Clare got but
he's gonna be good. But it was over the middle crossroute. He didn't do nothing special. He just split it. And the linebackers, you know what I'm saying? Like,
y'all linebackers struggle with that.
I mean, no, I don't think it's struggle. I just don't expect it to see anything exotic. I think sometimes, sometimes, guys, it's just you make the right play call at the right time. And mind you, our safety did hold up. Like we talked about this actually on the post game show after the spring game. If Max Clare, that was a real game against the other team. Max Clare, he still might have caught the ball. He was going to get cracked.
Yeah,
they held. Jalen McClain and Caleb Downs held up,
and that's why I don't like to watch y'all game.
Bro. Why
I don't like the one not hitting either, bro.
Bro, but why would you like? So, and this is why I find it funny, right? Because I remember last year, everyone from the Michigan channel was talking mess about how Ohio State didn't hit in the spring game, but we won the national championship. So like, what? And then I'm like,
nobody's saying that you won't win.
And then everyone
just won't beat us. That's our talking point.
And then
you just won't beat us. Playing like
everyone said,
waiting for Johnny to get his legs in.
Like NFL teams don't hit in practice. Like, what are we talking about?
That's fine.
That's why the league's soft.
See, when we talk about each other, we don't. It's not the national. Yeah, you win the national championship late November. See you in November. Yeah, we will.
Garrison, I know you're not ever gonna bring the NFL because
I call soft. It's 5 losses. That's why I call soft.
But this is why I always kill Ohio State fans. It's so easy
go ahead,
to me
Johnny.
because y'all you're 8-5.
Mm-hmm.
You're one of the losses. You can't talk about us when you lose to us. That's crazy talk.
I've seen NFL teams lose to worse than that. So what? It's still
the Dallas Cowboys are pretty bad.
This is college. There's not even a rivalry in the NFL to talk like this.
So Johnny,
Michigan, Ohio State now.
So Johnny, you just said, well, that's not true, Johnny.
Name me a rivalry in the NFL. Name me a real rivalry.
Johnny, real quick, Johnny, the reason I'm telling you, like, you're what you're saying is somewhat right, is because I can point out rivalries. Ohio State and Michigan's not even the biggest rivalry in the world. So I can show you.
We're talking America. We're talking football.
Wait, Johnny. But you said
NFL, college football.
Johnny,
we ain't talking soccer. We ain't talking
Johnny
football.
Johnny, and tell me this real quick. In what sport can you say that a team is not allowed to lose to a bad team and still win it all? Tell me.
College football is a different game. It's not like the NFL.
Okay.
That's the thing, bro. It's not like the NFL.
It's okay. You're free to have your opinion. It's fine.
You know what?
It's just not the same, bro. We know this.
Johnny, I get it.
I don't even know what's going on.
It's impossible for it.
He trying to make an argument that don't make sense.
No. Okay, I get it. It's impossible for a team to lose to a bad team and not win it all. I get it.
Nobody's saying you couldn't win it all. We're talking about you can't talk about Michigan's record when you're one of the losses.
That's what I don't
get.
If
you're Washington, you got something to stand on.
No.
If you're Illinois, you got something to stand on.
Bro.
Ohio State, we don't want to hear y'all talk.
I'll give you.
You won the championship. That's great. We beat you.
I'll give you.
That's nice. You won the championship, and we had y'all crying. That's just how it's gonna go.
As a Hotspur fan, I can't talk shit to an Arsenal fan just because we beat them and they win the EPL. Like that's not.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Now you speaking Spanish or Chinese.
I mean, I understand what he's trying. I understand what he's trying to say, but I just think like when y'all come at us, 8-5, it's like, bro, we knew like
that's not
obviously.
You don't say you knew. Don't say you
no,
knew.
No. You didn't let me finish. We knew after about week 3. I mean, if you just knew. So obviously
why didn't y'all just listen to me on Johnny's show before the season? I told you everything was going to happen.
Look, and they did. No one is taking that away. For 8-5, I've been said it was a disappointing season. But when y'all fire at us, that's what I'm
you
trying to
also
say.
said fire and brimstone was coming late November.
Yeah, it's like we look at y'all weird. Like, bro, we beat y'all with the literal worst offense that it will ever be.
The truth here, Johnny, we talked about it, is that bye week and getting Bryce Underwood, and we haven't seen
it was big.
Play yet.
It was big.
But that right there was the catalyst for Michigan going forward. And I mentioned to you a long time ago, Johnny, I was really worried that Michigan was starting to backtrack to that stubbornness of the Hoke in Rodriguez years. And we're going to go back to that where it start feeling that way. Then they signed Bryce. And if anything, that re-sparked the confidence in the program. Granted, it was Northwestern, but that was their best offensive output of the year. To beat Ohio State,
they rolled out the carpet for them
as 23-point underdogs in Columbus. That right there for me is like one of the all-time biggest wins against Ohio State. And then to beat Alabama with a depleted defense and dominate the game the way we did. That Bryce Underwood signing commitment just put the belief that, yes, they're going to invest in the program. They're not going to allow it to regress. And we've been stacking. I don't know how many 5-star players had commit to the team, but all I know, out my life, I can't remember Michigan having 1 or 2, and we've been getting a lot of them. And whether the kid plays or he doesn't play, that sparked, but he's gonna play. And that win against Ohio State this year, regardless of 8-5 or you guys winning the title, was transcendental in regards to the rivalry, because I'm old school. The rivalry matters to me. And let me tell you, if we won the title and we lost to Ohio State, yeah, I'm happy, but I'm really not happy. I'm just not. I'm just not. For me, the goal of the season is to beat Ohio State. Regardless of what we say, it is the biggest rivalry in college sports. It's maybe the biggest rivalry in all of sports.
In American
In
sports,
the game,
it's the biggest in American
the
sports.
game is
In
different.
America.
It's different. The records go away. It's like Army, Navy. It is a traditional thing. The records go away, and it comes down to grit. It comes
Dom's
down to
point,
grit.
Dom's point about
it doesn't come down to see, like that's what I'm saying, but like that's why, like when it comes, like when people say it comes down to grit, it's about who wants it more. Who's not?
Right.
Listen, bro. I don't care about
That
none of
stuff
that.
don't matter, Garrison. Now you play football. This is pretty wild to hear you say that.
I don't care about none of that. It's about Jimmys and Joes and X's and O's. I don't care about none of that. When it comes
So grit. So what do we have to run off them hills for in the off season and all this work we had to put in? What was all that for?
It's like when people say, "Oh no, like the other team, the other team wanted it more." Like, but I'm not hearing all that, bro. Like at that level,
I think if it's the league,
it looked like Khalil Mullins wanted it more on that run to get that field goal. He really did.
No, you know what that's called? That's called Khalil Mullins playing football and him making an excellent
That's
football.
called heart. That's called me wanting it more.
Bro, it's
Notre Dame against Penn State. Notre Dame against Penn State. That running back, he did some crazy stuff. He wanted it more than those Penn State. Yes, you know the run I'm talking about in the playoff.
Yeah, in the red zone.
What was that? Come on, Garrison. You play football now. This is wild. This is wild.
I did. No, I did.
This is wild.
No, you're right. I did play the sport, and that's why I'm able to say it's about Jimmys and Joes, the X's and O's, and dudes making.
So wanting it doesn't matter. That don't exist.
No, I don't believe someone wants it more. I don't believe that we want to win the championship more than. I don't believe that we
Garrison,
want to win the best,
like I said, we
game
both.
This is wild.
Garrison, we both.
Wait. Do you think we want to win the Rose Bowl more than Oregon did?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I think y'all wanted to prove a point. How's it stupid? You lost to them already.
No, because
Will Howard. They asked Will Howard at the spring game which game meant the most to you, and he said, "I can't lie. It's that Rose Bowl because we wanted to get back at Oregon."
That doesn't wait. He said, "I want to get back at Oregon." That doesn't mean they wanted it more.
That's extra motivation. You want to lose to these guys twice when you slid and lost the game, basically on some fluke? Come on now.
Wait. I want to.
We disagree. It's okay.
I want to go.
You saying bulletin? Hold on, Juju, because this is a wild take, Garrison. This is wild. You talking wild?
He finally got up out of here.
You saying bulletin board material and things, motivations don't exist?
Look, I played, bro. I know that it does. Look,
is that an actual question or is that rhetorical?
No, I'm asking you. I know it does. I'm just trying to see if you're going to admit it.
I do think. I mean, coaching matters, Garrison.
Bulletin board stuff is not what I'm saying. You're talking to you about. What I'm saying, you're talking to you about is I don't believe when you get to the highest level and you're sitting here trying to win at the highest level, it's not about who wants it more. I don't believe that we want the game more than Oregon. I believe that our coaching staff went out there, did their job, watched what Oregon did. They made the changes from the first game, saw that like Ryan Day said before the game started, that this game that had to be close because we have more talent than them, and we have the mismatch on them. Bro,
okay, so you're saying coaching matters. That's all I wanted to.
Coach, I'm not saying that coaching
because you said about the Jimmys and Joes, X's and O's. Because that's what I was just clarifying, that coaching matters too.
X's and O's is coaching.
No, I mean, I didn't hear the X's and O's part. I heard the Jimmys and Joes.
Oh. No, I don't. But for me, like, I don't. Like, yeah. Like, everyone sees the bulletin board stuff. Sure. That, bro. At the end of the day, all that matters is what happens between those white lines to me. I don't care. Hold on.
There's a mental. This is what I don't think you're understanding. There's a mental part of the game, bro.
Yes.
Game plan, schematics is huge, but there's a mental part of the game.
Yes.
That's when you come back. I came back to win a championship. I came back. Roman Wilson, all these guys, Blake, JJ. We came back to win a championship. We want it. I came back here to do one thing. I don't know what you came to do. I done lost to TCU. I done lost to Georgia.
Yeah.
Guess what? Ohio State, Jack Sawyer, JTT. I done lost to Michigan. Dang, it happened again. I came back here to win a championship. If we can't do one thing, we can do this, win a championship. Let's focus in mentally. We came back here to accomplish a goal. These things are real. Michael Jordan, I make up things in my head to motivate myself. These things happen. This is real life.
Wait. See, so Johnny, you literally.
I do this stuff all the time. I do it playing a video game, making me motivate myself. Like
you're talking about Johnny, Johnny, you're talking about something completely different.
No.
There's a difference between motivating yourself and then saying someone wants it more.
That's part of wanting it more. I want it so bad that I'm going to think of something to make me focus. This is a fact, bro. The fact that you're saying this is wild. This is wild.
Bro. So you think
nobody wants it more than you? You think if that's the fact, everybody would be the same caliber of player?
No, it's not.
You think so? Nobody practices harder than the other players?
This is wild. That is not. You just wait.
So nobody practices harder than the other players.
You just said something completely a lie. You just said because I practice more, or no, I'm sorry. You said because.
So nobody practices harder than he.
No, before that.
So in practice, I can want it more, but in the game, nobody else will want it more. Go ahead.
You are talking about no, John. No, it's not crazy, Johnny. You're literally sitting here saying like. I said I don't believe that we wanted to win the national championship more than Notre Dame, and somehow you said yeah, you did.
That shit, bro.
That's like not. I'm not calling you dumb. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life to sit here and think that we want to win the game more than Notre Dame. I think it's stupid to think that Michigan or like in the years.
You know why I say that?
Wait. In the years that Ohio State was busting your ass for 8 years in a row. If a Buckeye fan came to me and said we want to win that game more than Michigan did, I would call them a dumbass, bro. No, at the end of the day, bro, in games like that,
Michigan wanted to win, they didn't know what it took to win.
Bro. Just because you want to win the game, bro, I've been in part of games where I was at St. Francis. I know the other team wants to beat us. I know they want to win the game just as much as us. Guess what? We're still gonna kick their arse. Like, bro, that's football.
Garrison, just say ass, bro.
Bro, no, I'm not trying to cuss too much, bro. Like again.
Come on, bro.
If it's like you can have you are free to have your opinion. You are free to have that. I don't care to keep arguing about it because you have yours.
No, I'm trying to get understanding.
No, bro. If you don't understand it, that's fine. But I'm sitting here telling you, as you said, as someone who played this game as I did, I can sit here and tell you, bro, I don't fall for that woo rah rah shit. I don't. Bro, all these teams want to win the game. I don't fall for that.
You can want to win the game.
Woo
rah rah. You can want to win the game. Everybody wants to win. Everybody.
NBA,
hold on. Let me cook because this is a wrap. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to go to the NFL. Everybody wants to go play college football. But you know what? I want it more than you. I get up, go work out. I go run before school. I go run after school.
Johnny.
Work. Things like this exist. That means I want it more. Putting in the work to be better. These things exist. This ain't a video game, bro. Like, this is confusing to me. Because
Johnny,
let me say this. Answer me this. Answer me this.
How many times?
Answer me this.
No, how many times last year were you How many times last year were you in Ann Arbor watching practices on Main Street? How many times did you do that?
It doesn't matter. Answer me this.
Answer my question, Johnny.
Answer me this. Answer.
No. You are talking about people practicing harder. How many times were you on Main Street?
Bro, please. Are you saying everybody practices the same, bro? Come on. This is getting ridiculous.
All right.
Just because you at practice.
Do you think do you think Michigan wanted to win the game as much as Indiana did last year? Do you think Michigan wanted to win that game as much as Indiana last year?
Look, look.
No, answer no. A simple yes or no will suffice.
He's trying to straw man. He knows what we're talking about. You're trying to reach for a straw.
All right, no, it's cool, bro. It's cool.
You're right. You know, Garrison, the thing that you're missing here, that
I know
Johnny's
Juju
trying to
understands
tell
what I'm
you,
saying. It's okay.
It's about wanting it, right?
This is
Right.
hilarious.
It's about wanting it. It's about wanting to win. You could go into a game with, you know, all pumped up
Johnny,
and the
this is
game
such good
plan and all
content,
this
bro. You
and that,
eating
but
today,
when you
bro?
get into the game and you get hit in the mouth.
Bro, you talking to a college football player?
Let
What
me
the fuck are you
finish,
talking about?
man. Let me finish. That your perception, the mental aspect
Garrison
of
losing it.
what changes in the game. I mean, last year the game against Ohio State that turned around when Will Howard pretty much got concussed. That's what turned it around. I mean,
No,
zero
you're
first
right. You got
downs
it.
in the second half. You guys had the ball for 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. It's
Yeah,
mental, and once you
Yes,
lose the
you're right.
mental, you know.
Yeah,
I
y'all
agree
right.
with Johnny.
No, y'all got it.
I'm just this is what I'm saying though,
No,
Garrison.
you got it, bro.
No, because you're confusing me.
We don't gotta talk about it no more. You got it, bro.
No, because what you're saying don't make sense.
You're trying to tell a college ball.
So you're saying no. Just answer me this, bro. Just real talk. So you're saying if I'm doing just because we all go to practice, you go home play video games. You go home, eat like crap. I'm doing stuff before practice. I'm doing stuff after practice.
I see what
I'm
he's saying.
doing stuff late at night. So do I not want it more than you?
That you're talking about a singular. Like
this is all it all wraps in. That's why that's why I'm bringing all this up.
It's almost like politics. You were talking about a singular issue. I'm talking about the whole scale. I don't believe a team wants to win the game more than a team does at the highest level. I don't. When we're talking the highest level of college,
You're
football,
saying there's no such thing as added motivation.
Yeah, I think Johnny's like added in
wait.
preparation as well. Like,
motivation is one thing. You are saying that one team wants it more. I think it is crazy to sit here and think that in any I think it's crazy to think that in any game that
everybody wants to win. Some people don't have the full spectrum to win.
No, bro. Or you don't have the bro. So again, I'm asking this question: when you guys played Indiana last year, do you believe Indiana won the game more?
We wanted to win. We didn't have a quarterback.
They're more prepared.
Wait. So all right. So is that so? Is because of
I never said that Jimmy's and Joe's don't matter, Garrison. You're making it an all or nothing, but you're acting like extra motivation doesn't exist. This is crazy. All of these things are real life because we're humans. We have emotions.
I think this conversation is stupid when we're sitting here trying to tell a college football player on how the fuck they play the game. I think this is a dumb conversation.
Bro, I played semi-pro, so what are we saying? You can be motivated. We're talking like motivation never existed and things like this.
All right. So, all right.
This shit is ours, bro.
All right. All the because and I'm not doing this to like talk down in your guys' season. I'm literally trying to figure this out real quick. Was out of the 5 losses you guys had?
I played with guys in the NFL.
Out of the 5 losses,
what are we talking about?
You guys had last season. Do you believe any of those losses were done because you guys didn't want to win the game as much as the other team?
Okay, the Texas game, I do believe, bro. You can see it on the field.
No. What happened in that game, and we all saw it, was scheme and players, and you went against the best.
I'm not saying that doesn't matter. You're making it an all or nothing.
No,
you're making that's the problem. You're making it an all or nothing. I never said.
You're right, Johnny. Johnny, you're right. You're right. Tell me a situation, like point to a game. I want to keep it within the rivalry. Point to an Ohio State or Michigan game where you can sit there and say that
last year
didn't want to win.
Last year,
who
you had the chance to stop Khalil Mullins, you couldn't do it. You didn't have the heart. What happened?
Wait, do you know what you're doing now? You're taking away the credit from Khalil Mullins just making a play
because he wanted it more. Y'all had him. You had him.
Bro, just because what happened? If I stiff arm you, it's not because I wanted more, bro. I just stiff armed you. It's called football.
Oh, okay.
Like, bro, this conversation is so ridiculous to me. Like, bro, if I break, Bro, if I break your ankles, bro, in basketball, it's not because you didn't want to play defense, bro. I just got you right there, bro. If I sit here and I jump and
football and basketball aren't the same.
No, bro.
When it comes to passion and physical, this is a physical game.
I understand what he's saying.
I'm talking sports in general. If I sit here and throw
it's a different sport. You can't make the same comparison.
Bro, I can sit here and take don't pay attention, don't watch the car, pay attention to the destination. If I sit here and I tell you and I throw a curveball and I knock it out of the park, it's not because I want to hit the ball better, I wanted it more than you, bro. That's just what sports is.
When you throw a curveball, I'm not trying to drag you down.
I got a question, bro.
I'm not trying to drag you down when you throw a curveball. This is football. This is it's a little different, bro. When you make this
Johnny, have you ever been ran over in football?
Of course.
Did you get ran over because you didn't want to tackle the guy?
I might not have been ready to tackle him.
Oh, wait, no, not being ready is different than not wanting to.
There's a difference.
Like, what are we talking about right now?
Okay, I got a question for everyone, Johnny, for everybody on the panel, because this is what I've been thinking about lately, and it's not related to this. It's Dom said it earlier about the transition, right? And that bye week that we went out and got Bryce, basically. Now, many thought that that's the most important get, but personally, I think it was Chip Lindsey. Now, I want to get everyone's opinion because I think you get a talent like Bryce, you got to know how to utilize it, right?
Very true.
Hold on, Juju. Hold on. Because I just thought of something. And this is so I'm sorry, but this is just so beautiful.
Bro, go ahead, bro. Johnny, I promise you're talking to deaf ears right now. I promise you're talking.
It don't matter. This for the chat then. You cooked. 2023, Marvin Harrison, interceptions. Will Johnson.
Oh, this is about to get ugly.
No effort on the tackle.
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Not fighting for the ball. Effort. He don't want it.
Bro,
he don't want it. Rob Miller.
I
tried to get back on track, bro.
That was a bad read.
You want it just as bad as somebody else.
Bro, this is so annoying.
I can't let that
go.
Just because you out there don't mean you want it as bad as somebody else. I'm sorry.
This is fanboy talk right now. This is fanboy.
This ain't fanboy. You can go watch Zach Smith. Go watch Zach Smith after the game. Go watch Zach Smith. A coach that we both respect. Go watch him talk about it. That ain't fanboy. That's watching football and understanding what you're seeing.
All right, Johnny. So you watch football. Then that means you would understand that was a bad read. Everyone knows that he should have handed that ball off because it was right there. For
not just
Garrison. I think
not
it was
just
after.
The interception. Bro, the effort on trying to tackle him.
Yeah,
it was not
after the
interception.
The
end of the game. The effort on trying to go for the ball. You didn't do it.
All right. So because clearly everyone here has hearing comprehension problems. I said you are talking about singular things. I am talking about the grand scheme. I don't believe that a team at the highest level wants it more than the other team. I don't believe there's in the years of the game that it has been played. I don't believe there's a single time that Ohio State and Michigan have played and the other team wanted it more than the other. I don't think it's in a time where Army and Navy have stepped on the field and the other team didn't want it more than the other. I don't believe Auburn and Alabama have ever stepped on a field and the other team wanted more than the other. I think this conversation is ridiculous.
Point taken.
Yeah, but we weren't just. This is the thing. We weren't just talking about. We were talking about Oregon and Ohio State at first, and then
I think both teams wanted it more. Schematics and Jimmy's and Joe's ruined that game, bro.
Go ahead. Say it, and then we done. We gonna agree to disagree or whatever we gonna do.
I tried to say that 10 minutes ago, but you didn't want to let
I thought it was something else. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, I'll hear the closing.
Garrison.
You could want it going into the game, Garrison. You could want it. Any team could want it going into the game against their opponent, but their opponent does something where they eventually quit. And when you get more players quitting on one team than the other team, your team loses. And that's essentially what's happened to Ohio State the last handful of years. Their defensive front they've quit. And Michigan went through that was Rich Rodriguez and Brady Hoke. I used to
You
sit
think
there
those?
and
You
watch the
think those
games.
players
Like,
didn't want to
when
win the
are they
game?
going
That's so
to win?
disrespectful.
Hold on,
I
hold
hate
on.
that
I
type
want to
of.
get this
I
last
hate that,
question
bro. That's so
before we
disrespectful
pause.
to say,
Go
bro.
on
That's
ahead,
so
Juju.
Bro, hold on.
Say what you want to say,
Wait.
Garrison, and then
You think
Juju
for
go.
4 years? You think for 4 years, Jake
He's
Long,
teed up
Mike
right now,
Hart,
bro.
Sean
I
Crable,
know.
Brandon Graham. You think all these dudes, Chad Henne, you think these dudes went 4 years not trying to win that game and thinking about they want the game as much as they do? Man, stop that shit with me, bro.
Look,
Stop
I'm gonna
Stop
check
that.
out
Stop that.
Garrison.
This
Garrison,
is
I
such
love
a
you, man.
ridiculous
But let me tell
conversation.
you, sir. Let me tell you, Garrison. I'm gonna check out Johnny. Thank you for having me. But sincerely, Garrison, from my heart,
I haven't gotten
much
this upset about. I
respect.
haven't gotten this
But
upset
I'm
about the
telling
topic
you,
at all.
sir, I am telling you, Garrison.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Please, dear God, go to law school or get into effing politics, man.
No,
because
I
that
can't.
I'm just telling you, you would
That's a
be
nasty world.
sensational. Just
It's a nasty world. I
sensational.
could
man.
never.
I love you guys. I gotta run,
See you,
man.
Dom. Have a good night. Have a good night, brother.
All right, dog. Now,
This
what
is
you
a
had
disgusting-
left, Juju?
This is a
I just want to
disgusting
close with this. Like I
conversation.
said, the addition of Bryce was huge, right? We all know that. Probably one of the biggest flips or commits in this generation. But a lot say he's, the main aspect, right? But me personally, I think it's gonna be Chip Kelly. Or I said Chip Kelly. God no, he's off the NFL. That's my Chip Lindsey, because I think this sets the pace for the future. Because you got Bryce, but if you don't utilize him right, nobody's gonna want to come here. You know what I'm saying? Like this, recruiting wise, everything. This sets it up for everything. So, who's more important? Like I said, Garrison is like the X and O, Jimmy and Joe. Who is more important? Because we all know if you don't develop it, it's not gonna happen.
Bro, I always say, bro, if the Bryce Underwood, bro, is one of those players that the only way you don't succeed with him is because of coaching.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
so
I agree.
guess I would ask I've been asked this question actually. Like, who's your quarterback coach?
Chip Lindsey. He's sharing both.
I guess the only quarterback you can really point to is Drake May, right? For 1 year,
right?
Yeah, that 1 year.
Do you? Is that enough to have? Is that enough to make you confident in him?
Well, I mean, if you look at his statistically, like it went down because they went from an air raid offense to a balanced offense. So it went down statistically. But if you talk to him, bro, Drake May was the one who personally called. He personally called and said, "Go get him," because he knows more football now than what he did in the air raid offense. So I can only go off of what he says.
Next season.
How would you say?
I thought that when Chip Lindsey was there, I did prefer that season over the one with air raid because it's more realistic.
No, I don't understand why they do that. I don't like the air raid offense. That's me personally.
Because you don't have the talent.
Yeah, no, I don't.
If you don't have talent, Cal McCord got to the ball 40 times a game.
Oh my god, bro! I knew he was gonna get a jab in, bro. Holy shit!
Garrison he like the dude that walk around with all them little knives and stuff. And he got a gun here. He got a gun there. He got a gun in his leg. He got a gun up on it.
Bro, people act like I don't take pot shots at Ohio State players. Anybody can get it. Anybody.
Hey Johnny, I seen about 40 reposts of McCord's God is great when we beat him in the game. He said, bro, that shit took me
great,
out,
bro. Cal McCord's a good football player. Like, I think Cal McCord's gonna be better than. I think Cal McCord is a better quarterback than Will. He just wasn't. He didn't fit what we had. Like
Ben said that Chip Kelly needs a mobile quarterback. That simple.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Like, if we still had Chip, I'll be okay with having Nico. Not now.
You said Nico?
If we had Chip Kelly, I would say, yeah, bring in Nico.
That's pretty much set.
Your OC is not. Your OC is not even. He hasn't done anything. So don't worry about Chip Lindsey. That's what I'm going to tell you. You should worry about your OC.
I like Chip Lindsey.
Yeah, but you throw shots all the time, bro. That's just
I
in
didn't
your
throw it.
nature.
What shot did I throw? Can someone please tell me the shot I took at Chip Lindsley? I'm listening. Tell me the shot I took.
You just said it, man. You just said it. You know what you said.
I said
You're not gonna
Chip
get away with
Kelly.
it.
I said Chip Kelly was still our
Said
coach.
Chip Lindsley.
No,
No, you said before that. You're throwing shots all the time, man. That's your problem. No. I heard him. Listen, he not getting away with that. He been up here. I took a break.
Yo, my
And he
cheeks
got
hurt.
worse.
Pause. I'll be laughing this
I
hard.
took a break and he got worse, man.
No,
Nah.
Maniac, bro. I promise you, bro. He was talking about Chip Kelly, bro.
That's good. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. First of all,
Look at the
I'm gonna keep it
close-up, bro.
real. First of all, your OC, Kakaduru. Hardline ain't nothing. Y'all only kept him because he's a good recruiter. That's right. You that spoil you. Here you go. You that spoil you kid. You that spoil you kid that laughs at the other kid because you got a PlayStation 5 and he still got a PlayStation 4. And you still cry. That's
Yo,
right.
Maniac,
Cry.
bro.
And then he bring up soccer. It's not the greatest rivalry of all time. Yes, it is.
I knew
Bringing
you
up
were gonna
soccer
listen still,
game.
Maniac. I
That's
knew you
right.
was gonna listen.
That's right. Nah, listen, that don't bother me. Because that's why he do. He a cry baby. He cry. That's all he do.
Now, hold on, Garrison. Now, what
He's
you got that
sensitive.
Murray's for now? Now you wildin'. You got
Good.
the
He's
Murray.
sensitive.
Garrison, you look
Leave
like you
him.
got done with
Leave
an
him.
8-hour shift, gang.
No, that's the way. That's right. Show us more. Show us everything. Show us your socks, by the way. What else?
Hey, hold on. What?
Are you a grown man asking to see my feet?
Yeah, your socks. Your socks. You want to show everything,
Wait, hold
show
on,
everything.
Maniac, bro. Pause, bro.
No. Listen. I'm telling you, we all know, look, you got to remember something. I don't just come here to argue. I've been in many conversations with Garrison that I really say anything to him. I've been in many. But he's notoriously known for coming in these conversations. He'll take a shot at Michigan. And then act like he's not taking a shot. But I'm just being honest here. What are you talking about?
This is the World War II.
That's all you good. Yeah. Your team is gonna win 3. Y'all gonna go 9-3, your bum ass team. That's right.
Hey, shout out
Ohio
GB,
State
man.
trash.
Shout out GB. Anger down, bro.
That's right. Ryan Day is a bum ass coach too.
Bro, John, you not gonna get him.
He won one good season. One good season. That's right. Yo, man, I love that. That's good because that's telling me you in your feelings.
Come on, Boxer. Come on. I'm tired.
I get Johnny. You know what? Y'all been cooking for 3 hours, my brother. We good. Anyway, Johnny, he going to the spring game. Live and direct, I'm a flamer.
Oh, bro, I got it.
A maniac, for you to do that, that means
easy work.
That means I would actually have to sit there and listen to you.
Yeah, good. Don't be there then. Or ask any of your Buckeye fans to get up in here.
I'll pay to watch this shit, bro.
Maniac,
I clothesline every single one.
I promise you, if you were to do that, I will literally walk away from you while you sat there talking to an empty ear.
Good.
Wait, whoa, Garrison. Whoa. We still getting Oklahoma drilling?
Juju. The thing is this, Garrison, if he can't control the narrative, he gets in his feelings. That's Garrison. I gotta have it my way. Daddy, that's Garrison. I gotta have it my way, Daddy.
What shot did I take at Chip Lindsley? What did I say?
You said it. Rewind it. I'm not gonna repeat it.
Juju,
you know what
Juju,
you said.
Be honest here, Juju.
Listen, I know what I heard. Listen.
I thought he was talking
about it. You,
be honest, Juju.
If it ain't you,
no, I did.
No,
we were talking about Chip Kelly. That's what I said.
All right, wait,
so listen, Brian Hartline is gonna be trash. He's gonna be.
Yeah, bro.
Brian Hartline. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
We can.
Wait, Garrison. I just want to know if we getting our Oklahoma drill in, bro.
No, I can care less. I can care less to talk to anybody about anything like that. No, Brian Hartline is going to be the probably one of the worst OCs in the Big Ten in the nation.
Yep.
There's a very good chance that we'll probably have the worst offense in the Big Ten.
Facts.
We probably won't pass over 200 yards a game. Jeremiah Smith is probably going to be he's probably going to regress and
Facts.
not be able to run routes. Our offensive line might be one of the worst. Matter of fact, bro, Ohio State's going to blow 8-5.
Facts. Yo, bro, that's the greatest take you've ever said in your life. The greatest take you've ever said in your life, bro. Thank you, bro. Now that's the Garrison I know. The Garrison I know. The reality Garrison.
Garrison or boxing or Juju, whoever want to go first. Tell us where you can find
you guys can find me on Mondays and Thursdays in Ohio State, the Boys College Football at 8 o'clock.
Can I call up live?
Also, be sure to check out.
You can't call, man.
Be sure to check out.
They definitely gonna restrict your ass, bro.
No, he can call, but like, I don't like it's a free space. Be sure to also check out Michigan at the Boys College Football. They have a new show over there. My boy Bryce actually has a new show over there.
Yeah, shout out to Bryce.
So that I think that starts there. They drop that show tomorrow. So that called the Victors, I believe. So yeah.
Oh, he has a new show.
Yeah,
Bryce has a new show.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the Boys College Football now. Then in 2
weeks.
Really?
Nice. Congratulations to him. Good.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him, man. And then in 2 weeks, 2 weeks to 3 weeks, the Scarlet and Blue show will be coming back. But you guys have a very good evening, and God bless.
All right,
go get some sleep.
Garrison is fatigued from that. He was
bro. I told you, bro. It looked like he was 8-hour shift.
Yeah, I appreciate Garrison. Garrison, he'll get in the paint now. Regardless of what you want to say, it ain't easy to get up here and be arguing with me.
He's one of my favorite Buckeyes, bro.
Boxing maniac or whoever to be arguing and going back and forth. This ain't easy.
Yeah, he's still in the paint.
Yo,
so shout out to Garrison, you know.
Yeah, no. Listen, it ain't. Look, man. At the end of the day, it ain't personal with Garrison. It's just, when it just, I know the kind of dude he is. Regarding Ohio State propaganda, outside of that, he's probably the coolest dude. It's not like I dislike him. It ain't like that neither. So I want people in the chat to be clear. It's not like I have a dislike for Garrison. I don't. I just know bullshit when I see it, bro. Trust me, I was raised with scammers and thieves and liars. Trust me. And Dom is right when he say Garrison would be a beautiful politician or a lawyer, because the dude could cap. He know what to say, the lies and all that. But shout to him. What I said earlier, Johnny, that Garrison is the dude that continues to go down the neighborhood that he know they gonna beat him up if he walk through there, but he keep doing it. But I give it to him because he fight. But he left with another black guy today. It happens, but I respect it. Like you say, he in the paint. So you got to respect that. I respect his toughness. He the only Buckeye that come up here, though. He needs somebody to at least counter that, because I'm ready to put them all in the headlock. And this one specific one that I want to call up, but he hides in the chat. But anyway, right there, man. Go.
Oh, goals. Okay.
Yeah. He talk real tough in the chat, but he don't come up here. But anyway, right there, man. Go Blue _maniac_ on Instagram. I might get back on Twitter. It's too much sensitivity on there. I got blocked. But I was on Twitter 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when Michigan was getting fried rice going to war with Ohio State. And they'll still block me. But that's just what it is, because there's an emotional fan base. But anyway, Johnny, thank you again, my brother. I appreciate you, your show, giving everybody the opportunity to get in the kitchen, put the apron on. Juju, shout to you, champ. You're a Michigan fan, so at the end of the day, it's always love. And
all love.
Yeah, then we'll be live tomorrow on the Maze Man Show, previewing the spring game. And then, Thursday, we touching down, me, Johnny, and Madman. And then whoever's going to be at the spring game, man, we'll see you there.
Yes, sir. Hi, y'all can find me at _Ju6. I'm on Twitter. That's really it. This was fun. This was fun. A lot of shouting. Johnny, you got a lot of content today, ain't it?
Man, I had to try to chop it up if I can. There's a lot.
When the next time you going live?
I'll probably do a car live through the week, but it'll probably be either Saturday or Sunday. I mean, it might change I'm trying to go Saturday with just me, and then Sunday the call-in shows. But with the spring game, it might change up this week.
I'm definitely gonna be in the next one. You gonna be on May's show tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be in there.
I'm gonna catch you there. I'm gonna hop off this shit too.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. Go Blue.
Go Blue. That was Juju, y'all. He be all in all the spaces, all the Michigan spaces and channels. Juju no ball though. That was a long one. I wasn't planning on going this long. It's just, Buckeye Battle Cry came up and Maniac was up here. Then Garrison was up here cooking. Tim was in here cooking. It just turned into this. And then Garrison with the nobody wants it more and this. That was kind of wild to me. I believe in that type of stuff. Whether you, and let me just say this, not nobody else is up here. I'm just going to say what I think about it. And then we're going to get up out of here. To me, somebody always wants it more. Now, you can say as a team, maybe not, but there can become a motivation to where a team wants it more than another team. That's just how I feel about it. When you practice football in your day-to-day life or sports, I can want it more than you. We can have the same talent level, but I can want it more than you. I want to make it to the NFL. I want it worse than you do. So I'm going to work harder than you do. You know what I'm saying? To me, that goes into life. I'm sorry. I want to be successful more than you. I'd never want to be broke, so I'll work more than you. I'll take more overtime than you. Nobody wants to be broke, but who want to work for it? Who gonna take them extra hours? Who gonna go to night class? Who gonna do these extra things to make more money to be successful? Sports, life, everybody wanted more. Now, some people are blessed with more talent. Some people are blessed to have parents that are already successful. But you can always pull yourself up from the bootstraps and work. Who wanted more? I want it more than you. I'm sorry. I don't like to lose, so I want it more than you. You don't mind losing. You got a loser mindset. You used to losing. So yeah, I want it more because I don't like the feeling of losing. I don't like the way that feel. See, everybody is different. If you're a loser team, guess what? You don't got a problem with losing. That's why a lot of these teams have it so hard to beat Ohio State because they ain't beat them. They used to losing to Ohio State. Michigan had that problem. We were used to losing to them. So whether we got up or whether they got up, soon as the game got serious, whoop, all of a sudden Ohio State is up and we're crumbling. So the mentality of these things, they exist. These are real life things. People working harder, loser mentality. Yeah, you can want it, but you used to losing. So as soon as it goes bad, you don't mind the losing feeling. You don't mind it. You're used to being a loser. A dude that's used to being broke. You're used to being broke. You don't mind asking somebody for some money. But this is just my thought. This is my thought processes on this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I am fatigued. So let's read these old super chats and let's get up out of here. Dom donated. My bad, Gold donated $20. Shout out to Johnny O and the Madman, LOL. And we had the 5 memberships donated by JG King and Rock City, and I guess M3 got one. I'm not sure who all got one, but yeah, I done got tired. We've been on here a long time. Get on here, Goals. It's everybody's welcome. This is the wild show because somebody get mad and then I'm gonna let them kind of cook. I try to keep it contained a little bit, but people are gonna cook. They're gonna cook. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this show is for subscribers, whoever, to come up here and get a opinion and rock out. So yes, appreciate that unapologetic, but I appreciate Boxing Maniac Tim, Marmar was in here, Maze Madman was in here earlier, Garrison. Appreciate Garrison, we might differ on opinion on some things, but he always in the chat cooking, you know what I'm saying? Or coming up here giving his takes, which I always appreciate. Appreciate the $5 new life. Your clothes was brilliant, Johnny. I appreciate that, because that's how I think about stuff. Like, everybody wants something, but everybody's not putting in the work to get it. To just say everybody wants it, no, they're not. They're not, So that's all I got for this one. I appreciate the super chats, the donations, and everybody joining. This was another wild one. I'm gonna try to chop this one up, but that's all I got for this one, y'all. So like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.
It's great. 2 men.